Do I have to be on my best behavior now? This
Well,
is part of the record.
I mean, well, to be fair, we have messed up pretty badly already, on the stream in terms of good behavior. I mean, there was the end of a stream where we were still recording and we were talking about Alex Jones memes. And then there was another one at the end of that one where people were going off on rants about COVID-19 and on top of that, Republicans. So no matter which way we go, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
So you're saying we won't be famous?
Yeah.
No, we'll be banned.
Right. I'm glad you dashed my hopes
Perfect.
now.
Twitch is gonna love us.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have a niche somewhere, guys. That niche exists somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way I see it, we keep putting out this content unedited in all of its glory. Someone's going to watch it because, well, I mean...
They have nothing else to do.
They have nothing else to do. And
they're still quarantined.
And Brett and I have seen the D&D streams. And oh boy.
Yeah, I can't imagine. There's probably some interesting ones out there.
There's some that, like, we just want to save, like, the character and the person from the campaign and everyone else they're around. Because they're really cool, but the rest is not.
Oh, that's
not to name names. But
that's pretty amazing.
Anyway.
I'm pretty sure Cella's that character on this table. Everyone just thinks, man, I wish I could get Cella around some cooler people.
That's right. Yeah, around some cooler people.
Gareth just closed my laptop. Okay. I'm teasing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done being sassy.
Okay.
So recap.
Yes. Now did you record all that, Brett?
Of course.
Good. Perfect. Excellent. So who wants to recap what happened last session?
I think Zach went last. Here, Gareth, you go.
Ooh. No, Jet, you can go this time.
Smooth. Okay. So last time, I think it was the day after Ephelien dressed down Beastbane, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we all went somewhat different ways. Braundir, I can't remember if Braundir did anything before. Cella and Braundir followed. They went over to the encampment to try and learn more about all of the refugees coming into Palan.
That's right, yeah.
And we found out that the Dragonborn are in kind of a political upheaval because their leader died. I can't remember if he is a monarch or a dictator.
An emperor.
An emperor, somewhere in between.
Right.
So the emperor died, and now his sons have these warring factions to try to overtake the throne. And they mentioned like one Dragonborn in particular that's actually liked by humans, and he was like a white Dragonborn.
Right. So he was basically one of the sons has taken, like, basically they have convinced or employed the use of one of the Dragonborn generals, known as simply, like, they keep calling him the Ghost, but yeah, he's a white Dragonborn, and he has very loyal slaves actually to him. But anyway.
No, thank you for the reminder. I'm gonna actually start taking more detailed notes and write these things down. And on my back, Cella got to fly, which was very fun, and met some Aarakocra.
That's right.
Yeah.
Brett and I have always called them Arakoa because it just sounds better.
Yeah, am I adding extra letters? Am I doing a good
No, you're saying it right.
You're saying it correctly. It's just Brett and I have thought Arakoa sounds better, but
okay.
Yeah, Aarakocra I think is the correct pronunciation.
Gotcha. Well, it's your world, so we'll call him Arakoa.
Well, in World of Warcraft, they're Arakoa. That's why I started calling them that.
Yeah.
But I do think it sounds better.
Yeah.
It rolls off the tongue more, for sure.
Right.
And they gave Cella a flying lesson and indicated that they worship kind of wind spirits or wind perhaps wind elementals, and that the wind temple would be somewhere off in the south, which was important because we recently learned. Wait, no, I think we found that later. I think we found that out later. Anyway, at some point in this session, we learned that the temples of the elemental forces and the acolytes that stay there have like recently been radicalized against civilization and have started having upheaval as well. And we think that the additional portals, may be in these temples of earth, wind, water, and fire. And thanks to Cella's meeting with her very creepy aunt at the end of the Valkyra, towards the end of the episode, we found out the approximate locations with their honor.
And you've also found out from her that there is a quote-unquote outsider that has been going to different circles.
Oh, that's right.
And trying to do something, but the idea is that it seems that they have the power to control death.
Right. Okay. Anything else that you guys want to add? I think.
Braundir talked to Elizabeth and the father, and they're all going to go back to Palan to lead the way for a refugee setup.
That's right. You convinced Father Ignis as well as Elizabeth to take up the refugees' cause when they arrive in Palan.
Yeah. I think that's it. So I really don't remember what part of the world we actually left off in.
Well, you guys were still in Durin, but you were going to leave in the morning, I believe, was where everything was ending.
And I believe we were headed towards Fannis Lake.
That's right.
That's the one where we felt most confident about a precise location. That the Temple of Water is in Famous Lake.
Yeah.
So the question is, there was apparently a day for Daz to make the ring, the Heat's ring for Braundir.
That's right.
But how, for whenever this does go public, and we're now a multi-million-dollar podcast.
Yeah.
How did he do that from his bed?
Well, he did get up.
Okay.
I will note, for continuity's sake, he did stand.
With a really, really tiny
Stood
hammer.
up, yes.
A really small hammer.
Right.
He has a pocket Stone Singers kit, like every
That's right.
Stone Scout. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, he was able to get up, and presumably he could start working. Now, we'll say that he probably tried and got. Yeah, you can go and visit him.
Yeah,
if you so wish, like in the morning. Does anyone else want to do anything before? Like, I mean, that's what Braundir wants to do before you guys head out. Does anyone else want to do anything as well?
I think I might want. Wait, do I have any money? If I have money, I want to go buy some healing potions.
Do you have money?
I'm looking.
D&D Beyond has the answer to that.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm looking because I don't think I have any.
Probably not.
I'll just equip a healing spell real quick.
I'll go and get some. I'm gonna go buy an umbrella.
An umbrella. Okay, sure.
Are there any like steampunk umbrellas in the shop?
No, nothing that cool. It's just normal umbrellas.
Does it have like a little clock, like a little tiny timepiece on the bottom of it?
No.
I'm amazed. You should be grateful they have umbrellas.
That's true. That's a.
If they didn't have umbrellas, I was gonna try to like
make one.
Yeah, with some pulleys and stuff.
I kind of want you to jerry rig one, to be honest.
Okay. We can do it. We can. I'm gonna need to purchase a small, tiny pulley system, probably like a 1 foot long, like probably about a 2-inch pulley system that is
Yeah.
kind of got the ability to wrap some rope around it,
Yeah.
and we'll attach it to some to rope, as well as some some clothing, maybe something from in my adventurer's gear. Gonna try
Okay.
to take something out of here.
I'm gonna say for all of that, it's just like a gold piece.
Okay, 1 gold piece. Remove it.
You're almost like, I imagine you'd be rummaging through almost someone's junk, or
Yeah.
some like artificer or something that's like you're looking around for old pieces. Okay, so let's go back to Braundir with so you can go to you would go and visit Daz. Let's say he is back in his room this morning.
Knock on the door. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, hey man. So things went a lot better than expected. I got the ring for you that you've been wanting.
That's good to hear. It didn't hurt you too hard to get up and walk around, did it?
I started feeling good after a while. You know, you got to work those muscles every so often.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I'd hate to be laid up all the time and be so bored.
Oh yeah, man. No, but it was a real pleasure working on it, and I have to say, like, I even got her insignia that she wore. I got that on there.
Oh wow, that's impressive, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
And so
I put a lighter enchantment on it. You should, if you wear it, you should be able to walk on water.
yeah, is there like a limited time or?
Is there a limited time? I can't
Nope.
remember. No, it just lets you walk on water
And snow.
Critical.
and snow. That's actually okay. Yeah, that's really good.
That's a lot more than I was expecting. I mean, I guess snow is kind of like water, so it makes sense. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, I went above and beyond to yesterday. It was really nice.
Well, I can't tell you what this means, especially as a parting gift. So,
Hey, the way I see it, this is a good way to respect her memory. You know.
yeah, and now you have one project under your belt since all this chaos happened. So hopefully you can get back into the routine pretty quick.
Yeah. It's gonna be. Oh man, I don't know if I'm really gonna make a great teacher or not. I haven't really done a lot of that.
I know you, man, and you're gonna do awesome. It'll be scary at first, but I can't think of anyone better to lead the Stone Singers than you.
Hey, that's a lot coming from you, but I mean, there's not much choice, right?
You've got a point. well, Daz, it's been great seeing you again. I'm off, and we have another journey to go on. So I'll find a way to contact you.
Hey, and he kind of claps his hand on your shoulder and says, "Hey, I'll let you know if that guy's being a prick again. You know who I mean."
Yeah. If I'm needed, really needed, then let me know. Other than that, I trust you can handle it. So if I don't have to come back, honestly, don't want to or need to. So.
All right.
But
hey,
yeah.
Be safe.
Cool. Braundir gives a big hug.
Oh
and
yeah.
Does a strength contest.
Okay. He's gonna have disadvantage because, well. All right.
Oh wait,
Oh,
that was
no.
that was athletics. What was that? Strength.
You-
Cool.
Strength.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you definitely beat him, and you even hear him go, "Oh, okay, you're pressing a little too hard. I'm still tender."
My bad, man. Okay, well, I couldn't leave you without a little bit of remembrance. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, stay savvy.
Nice. Is that your new line?
I don't know.
Stay
I don't know.
savvy.
I never remember what my line is, so
Okay.
my line is not having one, I guess. So,
Silence.
well, and then he walks away.
All right.
Dude, that ring, that's so cool.
Yeah. And now,
Would be
did you
happy.
now be sure to add it to your D&D Beyond inventory?
So it's Ring of Water Walking.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's cool.
I would also like to buy 150 more feet of rope.
How much would that even cost?
50 feet costs 1 gold piece.
All right. It's yours.
Cool.
I have 3 of my starting 10 gold, so I don't think I can buy any health potions.
Oh, 10 gold.
I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be poor too.
Wow. Good thing no one knows Braundir gave away all those gems.
Yep, none of us know.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
I
a
don't
noob.
think Ephelien would care anyway.
Not, I feel he wouldn't care, but
What a noob.
I think Gerbo would care.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty
Yeah.
disappointed.
he gave them to Daz, right? To
Yeah, he
start
did.
his
Yeah.
School.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, as a minor detail, some of the gemstone was added into the ring,
Oh, cool.
so it makes
Awesome.
it worth
So it's-
worth even more than it's already worth. Probably. I don't know how much Ring of Water Walking is worth, but anyway.
Cool.
So, Gerbo, you've bought stuff.
Yes. I'm here trying
Now,
to potion of healing, potion of greater healing. I'm good on those.
okay, all right. What about trying to put together an umbrella?
Yep, I can use maybe I can use my tinker tools
Yeah.
to tinker.
I guess that'd be intelligence, right? Or is that like could you roll
Mhm.
tinker tools?
It's intelligence plus proficiency,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how to roll it on D&D Beyond.
So that would be what 20, including the proficiency.
Yeah,
'Cause I think it's
double
plus
20.
3 now. Yeah.
Cool,
all right.
I got a 17.
Yeah. Plus your proficiency, so that's plus 3.
Yeah. So I rolled a 14 plus 3.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say you do pretty well in jerry rigging together an umbrella, but it's big enough only for you.
That's great. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Actually, let me make one more. Let me see if I can try to make one more.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. You still managed to make one.
Okay, cool. So I've got 2 umbrellas, and I'm gonna. It cost me 1 gold piece, so I'm gonna update my. I now have 1,557 gold pieces.
How will you survive?
It's not enough, y'all.
It's not enough. Okay.
So, where's Cello?
I'm here. I'm
Where are
ready.
you though? Where are you?
Let's say you guys are congregating like outside the gates of Durin, right? Outside the entrance, getting
Is
ready to
All
go.
of us are there. All of us are there.
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah, I'd say I could imagine like you're the last to show up.
Okay, so I show up and I pull the umbrella out of my backpack, and I pop it open, and I look at everybody, and and in my other hand I take another one out and I throw it in the middle of everyone, and I say, "We're going to need this."
We're inside the mountain, right?
Well, you're going outside. You're about to go outside.
But we're currently inside the mountain, right?
Yeah, you are.
And Braundir just looks at this and says, "Have you no superstition?"
No.
I mean, I appreciate the gesture, but I'm not touching that thing until it's closed and we're outside.
Does that device allow you to fly?
What is that?
Well, you know, in the city we would use it just to stay dry. Around the lake, if that's where we are going, we probably are going to find that it's quite rainy. And I, for one, did not want to get my fine clothes wet.
Well, Gerbo, I've got to say, I'm impressed that you would not only make this pine piece, but make it for someone other than yourself.
Well, I only made one. One for all of you, so figure it out.
The gesture is kind, nonetheless. Thank you, Gerbo.
The gesture is kind. I'll be quite all right without this umbrella. Someone else may have it.
If it can fly, I'll take it. Otherwise, I don't need it.
I imagine Ephelien is actually fairly light. Right?
Yeah, she has a -1 strength, so she's probably pretty small.
If a strong enough gust of wind came by, it might lift her off the ground.
Very often.
Yeah.
Right.
She does look pretty slight.
Well, I can't ensure that it'll fly, but, you know, maybe we can find some sort of enchanter along the way. I'm sure we're bound to encounter some interesting folks.
Certainly.
So, do you have horses here?
Dwarves wouldn't have a lot of horses. Because dwarves really wouldn't. I mean, they really.
We have Shetland ponies.
Nice.
Well, so
And
that,
mastiffs.
That'll work.
I heard
massive.
Sebastian's.
We don't have any Goliaths in our party, so let's do it.
That's awesome.
Okay. So are you guys gonna like get a wagon?
Braundir,
Or-
maybe you can ask your mom to come up with some transportation for us.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll set up a I think I know just the thing. And so Braundir's gone and comes back, says, "Follow me," and takes them around to the stables where all of the Sebastians are, because that's what
Yeah.
the miniature
Yep.
horses are called in this world. They're called
Okay.
Sebastians.
All right. Well,
Like
that's
it?
that's canon now, I guess.
And
All right.
you know, I say, "Master Grindon, I need 4 of your finest Sebastians." And
Brendan.
yes,
This old crusty dwarf comes out of the stables. 4, you say?
yes, I said 4. Did you not hear me the first time?
I heard ya. I heard ya.
Said,
Braundir, if it's all right with you, I just something doesn't quite feel right about riding a horse. It's just not a very druid thing to do.
Who
Perhaps
said we were riding on a horse? And Braundir points to a carriage that's behind it. Like it's like what you see on Oregon Trail, and it's one of those.
It's a wagon.
It's a wagon, yeah. Except it's the same size as what you would think that it's scaled down proportionately from a horse to a Sebastian. So
Okay.
No, it's gonna fit you and Gerbo great.
It's gonna be
Yep.
perfect. Literally perfect for us.
Maybe it'd be a tight fit for
look,
Ephelien.
this is dwarf sized. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Ah, well, quite sensible of you. I don't suppose they come in plus size.
I'm sorry, my dear, but any more complaining and you might be walking behind us.
This is
Can't you
awesome.
just turn into a horse or an eagle or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she could.
Probably not all day long, though.
No.
No, only for 4 hours at a time.
No. No. What you should have done is like, oh yeah, we got plus size carriages. And you point, they're just wider. There's no color.
That's amazing.
Casual carriage XL.
That's right.
Amazing.
Perfect.
So you guys
I'm
now
gonna
have
walk
a-
up to it and like put my like little tiny hands on it and be like, "This is what I'm talking about. Why didn't we have this as we left the redwoods? It is perfect, perfectly sized, as does it have any cushions on the inside? And I open it up, and it's just like wood.
Yeah, of course. Just wood.
And I'm gonna look and I say, well, it'll have to do.
Let me give you some ranger knowledge. Leaves are good for cushions and toilet paper and other things, but also cushions.
Well, we're going to the forest, so maybe the second half of our ride will be more comfortable than the first.
All right, so Braundir's helping Grindon tidy up the horses and put a few gold pieces.
I'll be sure to put the rest on your mother's tab.
She knows it's coming. This is nothing new, so it's good to see you again. Thank you.
Aye. What did you say?
Oh, just thank you for this.
Aye. You just
Gerbo
kinda
goes and
back.
sits inside.
All right.
This is good.
All right.
All right.
Perfect.
Well-
No, wait. Oh, well, Zach is gone.
Zach, come back.
So we're like we're right outside of Durin, so we're basically like right over here.
Right. So you guys are going to start your journey,
Okay, cool.
and this is where we begin our random encounters.
Yeah.
I assume
Ooh.
we'll be going through the same pass that you guys came in through.
Yeah, that'd be correct. So it'd be more like in this area, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you guys could go through the redwoods. You'd have no reason to, but you could. That would change a few things I had in mind.
Yeah, I can only imagine they'll probably want to go north.
Yeah.
Did we hire like a driver, or how is this working?
I mean, one of you
We'll have
guys
to
are going to
drive it.
drive. Yeah, you guys are going to have to drive it.
I don't think we could take a horse and cart through the redwoods anyway, so.
All right,
No.
what's our vehicle name? Is it a warthog?
A warthog.
It's called the
wow.
Little Sebastian.
The Little Sebastian.
Express.
Little Sebastian Express. Good. golly.
Gerbo doesn't have vehicle proficiency, and it's not in my character to drive anything.
Well, I mean that I wasn't expecting Gerbo to drive at all.
Yeah, my character's not gonna drive.
Uh-oh. Zach.
Oh, I
Oh,
assume
computer
Zach
died.
just conjured miniature of ponies and then mic dropped and left.
Yeah, that
But I guess not.
I imagine your path will look something like this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. Maybe what we can do is like generally we'll all talk about the path, and then this is the general path that we
Right.
think is the best.
Yeah.
Who's
Sure.
good at animal handling?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
I cannot do animal handling.
I do. I'm proficient in animal handling.
You might
Okay,
be the
so
one. You
yeah,
might be the only one.
you should
Yeah.
you should do that, and I can be
I'll
the
roll it out.
I can grapple.
Oh.
I can be the
No.
navigator.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Wow.
Now,
Animal handling. What does that look? What does
That's
it look like to
bad.
critically fail at handling Shetland ponies?
oh,
Oh my
no.
gosh, Chester.
Little Chester,
So when
that's right.
when I was growing up, my best friend's parents were equine vets, and they owned a lot of horses. And rather
Oh,
than
that's so
letting
funny.
trusting me to ride one of the nice race horses, they put me on Chester, the Shetland pony,
Yeah.
for many
Which
years.
is pretty great.
And Chester stepped on my toes many times, literally.
Well, a critical failure in handling 4 ponies.
So we're like, oh, we have a druid. Of course, she should take care of the horses,
Right.
and just gets bit immediately.
How hard would it be? They have the pointy end and they have the swishy end.
I'm inside. I am inside the carriage, and she crit fails, and like shit starts happening outside, and I'm like, whoa! I'm like, and I kind of like lean out, like I'm like put my hands on the outside of it, and I'm like leaning out, and I'm like, what the hell? What is happening?
I don't know,
Are
Drew,
you
What is happening?
are you not prepared for this?
I can imagine like Cella, as she's probably not actually that familiar with dealing with horses, or ponies for that matter, and she's like trying to like awkwardly, like, get near them and pet them, and the horses look at her and get scared,
Yeah, that seems about right.
and they start, and one of them just immediately goes and bites your hand immediately.
Oh man, do I have to roll for damage?
D4.
Dang it!
So good.
Dang it! That
That's a
horse
good
rolled better
bite.
than I did on my last roll.
That's enough to kill a commoner in one shot, so it's a pretty good bite.
That's horrifying. Now that you mention it, jeez.
It's a pretty brutal horse bite.
Brutal pony bite.
Ouch!
Yeah,
That says,
pony
"Ow!"
bite.
I will.
And so like the others kind of buck around and move the wagon around, and that's when Gerbo pokes his head out.
Yeah.
All right,
Miss me getting bitten by a Shetland pony, Braundir.
yeah,
You mean the Sebastian?
yes,
Yeah, let's
Sebastian.
Oh, sorry,
She
yeah.
she rolled animal handling and crit failed. So basically she scared, like, her very appearance scared the ponies, and one of them immediately bit her when she tried to pet it.
Note to self: stay well away from the pointy end.
And she took 3 damage.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh man.
Well, fine. I don't suppose I will be having anything else to do with these creatures. They're quite outside the scope of what I usually do, so I think I'll just walk for a while.
Wow.
Give them time. Give them time, my dear.
Wow.
Oh, Ephelien! Come on, girl. Get in.
What is Ephelien trying to do?
She's like, well, I guess I'll try, and then instantly gets bit in the hand
Yeah,
by a different one.
different.
Like, go
Okay,
everywhere, guys. Nobody can make these Shetland ponies walk. We sit in Durin for a week trying to get the ponies to move.
roll a d4, Brett, for
Oh
damage.
my gosh.
Ooh,
Oh,
that was a bad one.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, that's so funny. All right, everyone climb in, and I'll get this thing going. And now I guess I'm gonna roll animal handling.
Oh God, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
Yeah, whatever.
He was
See,
actually
they're
better
not
than
that bad
us.
once you've been around them for a
Dwarvish.
while.
The Sebastians only understand Dwarvish.
That's right. That's right.
He also
Wow.
just apparently has a better animal handling than both of us anyway, so.
That's right.
Jesus, 19 plus 5 plus 3? That's insane.
Where'd that +3 come from?
Well, I don't
Jeez.
know
No,
what
just
plus
looking
3
at
is. 19 plus 5 plus
Is it-
3.
Is it a charisma skill or is it?
Oh, I think you still have the D4 from heroism turned on.
Oh, you might. Yeah, you might want to turn that off.
Thanks.
It's so funny.
Well, glad we discovered it now. But even
Yeah.
okay, so even without that,
Yeah,
Like-
still a 24.
it's still super high.
Now come on, climb in.
And like this, like they were like bucking around and stuff, like when Cella and Ephelien tried to do things. But then the second like Braundir got in, and like basically said a few dwarvish words or shouted them, the ponies calmed down instantly, and you just got them going.
Alright.
Well, they are used to that curmudgeon old dwarf that was raising them, so
That's true.
it makes sense.
Right. All right. Well,
I'm
that
gonna
was
start reading-
I did not expect that.
Based on that, I'm gonna start reading this manual of bodily health.
Like even more vigorously than before.
I'll pull out the sketches I made for of maps.
Wait,
try to-
what, Brett?
I'll pull out the sketches I made of maps and try to be the navigator.
Okay. So, if you like, I don't know, you can see the map, right, Zach? Everyone can.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, the green line I drew coming out of Durin going up to forest, that is, I would assume, the path you guys want to take, roughly.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the Badlands side.
Mm-mm.
No. I don't think you guys would want to. There's not really any towns or anything. I guess Northwich would have been a town closer,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
well. Anyway,
Yeah, that happened.
so I assume this will be the rough path. I think in all we're talking about probably 6 days worth of travel.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Actually, yeah, thereabouts.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
We're gonna do some Skyrim fast traveling.
heh. Now I'm gonna roll a d12. Oh. All right. So, as you guys set out from Durin, and the mountains are still like you. I mean, really, throughout the whole journey, the mountains are not going to be far from you guys. They'll always be in view. So, as you're traveling along and you're coming out of the pass here,
Yep.
you actually see a dwarf, a female dwarf actually, who's kind of off to the side of the one of the pass, like sides of the pass, and she appears to be visibly drunk. Several bottles of ale and liquor that are scattered around her bag and her belongings. As you guys are passing along, she kind of looks up and points directly at Braundir and says, "Hey! Hey, you!"
Braundir pulls the horses down. All of the Sebastians obey his dwarven commands.
Right.
And slow down their wondrous hooves as if they were gliding across the cloud.
Yeah.
Bring them to a halt.
Yes.
I look over. Can we help you, young woman?
She kind of stumbles towards you and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna can help you. Yeah."
I lean over my shoulder to. I assume that I picture this like an actual carriage where it's like got your seat and shotgun, and then like
Yeah.
seats in the back. And who's riding shotgun with me right now?
I guess
Maybe
me, because I'm
so.
navigating.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes more sense.
So I'm gonna lean over to Ephelien and say, I don't know this woman, but back me up if anything we need. Yes, and what did you need?
I want to grapple you. That's what.
You want to grapple me? I'm sorry, ma'am, but there's no use in grappling anyone here. We're just on our way. Thank you. And I start.
Come on, I'm one of the strongest ones here. What are you, a coward? Huh?
No.
You weakling? Come on.
No. Man, you're mistaken. Where's your home? Why are you out here?
I don't know. I've just ended up out here. Oh.
Gerbo,
Come on.
I'll put one gold up on the drunk woman.
I think Braundir's talking more like he's drunk now too than when this conversation started.
Did you say you threw a goat? Is that what you said?
I'll
bro?
put 1 gold on the drunk woman.
1 gold. He's already betting.
Not that bad.
Oh,
He's putting a third of his wealth on the
Yep.
line.
That's it.
I
Ephelien, you're really not helping this case any. Ma'am, please, can we at least direct you back to where you need to be?
All I need's a good fight. That's what I need. Come on.
I do not like this situation at all.
Come on, you son of a whore.
So I think at this point,
Yes.
Cella's been walking like beside the carriage, and I think she like walks around to see what's going on.
Right, yeah.
What seems to be the problem? Braundir, are you going to fight this woman or not?
What is this with me? Why do you want me to fight this woman? I've never. What is going on? I'm just trying to get us along. I want to help this woman. I don't want to fight
the
her.
umbrella and like I hit the ceiling with the umbrella. Like, what's the hold up?
We have somewhere to be. Just go ahead and wrestle her and get it over with.
I get down out of the cart and I walk towards her and say, "Look, my name is Braundir of Clan Bakatir. We do not want to fight you. Like, please let us take you back to where you need to be. Why are you out so far from home?"
Wait. Braundir?
Yes, I'm sorry. Do I know you?
And she immediately tries to grapple you.
Oh, gosh.
I hold that 1 gold up to Gerbo. I got a gold on the drunk woman.
Yeah, I've at this point I've like leaned out and I'm looking at Ephelien like what is happening right now because I didn't like catch anything. All I saw was I leaned out and Ephelien said I've got 1 gold on the woman dwarf.
On the drunk one?
Yeah, and I said, okay, that sounds good. I'll take you up on that.
Okay, I cast Enhance Ability on the dwarf woman and give her bull strength, and she has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Advantage on strength checks, so. Gosh, well, this is awful. I know what you're doing! I look back to Ephelien and the crowd, the crew.
I was just trying to heal her a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are we doing? We doing like a
Strength contest. Roll strength check.
Oh my gosh. Alright. Well, everyone rolled twice.
Hey.
All right.
Pretty good.
So. That's hilarious. I did not expect an enhanced ability on the drunk dwarf, but anyway, so it's actually a pretty close contest. Like, you're kind of taken off guard by how strong this dwarf woman is.
Yeah, I imagine. Like, I'm like grappling and looking over here like mad at
Go for her beard, Braundir. Go for her beard.
But as you do eventually overpower her after like probably almost a minute of like struggling with her, and you do like wrestle her down to
I'm
the
gonna
ground.
say that like I finally get tired of it and I release a bear roar and
Yeah.
then pin to the ground. Then like have to recompose myself because again I never wanted to fight this woman to begin with.
Can you roll to see how covered in mud you are?
Oh gosh. Okay, what would that just be, a 20? Pretty covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent amount of coverage.
And then so like I'm sitting and looking at this woman and be like, "What is your name and why are you fighting me?"
I'm gonna give her a name. I'm Fedora. Fedora's the name. Ah.
And what are you doing out here? You're so far from home.
There's a bet. I think. Wanted me to go and walk for so far I walked. I can't even remember how many steps I had to take. I had to drink so much. About here. Oh. It looks like you beat me.
But so now what? Like, go home. What's going on?
Here. And she pulls into her, reaches into her pocket, and gives you 5 gold pieces.
I'm like, I don't want. Look, I don't want your money. I want you to be safe. You're alone out here.
I'll be fine. I'll just sleep it off. That's all.
I'll look back to the group. And what are they doing right now?
I yell like, "Bring the gold and let's go!" You owe Ephelien a gold piece.
So, first thing is, all of y'all owe me all that gold you bet against me. So, there's that. And
I was not involved in any kind of gambling. I just found
you
it
were
helping.
just as involved. Don't you try to back out of
It was
this.
really fascinating.
Does anybody have a spell to heal or sober up this poor woman and send her back along her way?
Not prepared today.
Uh,
But
Not prepared.
after she passes out, I'll go take one of her gold pieces and then throw it to Gerbo.
Yeah, I would say at this point she just is passed out.
All right. Well,
I'll take one of them and give it to Gerbo and leave her the rest.
I'm going to go and like put her over my shoulder, like bag sack style, just
Yeah,
like throw her
right.
potato sack style, just like, and then go and then I'll gently lay her down on the edge of the mountains where she's not like in the middle of nowhere, and then just
Okay.
Okay. But I'm gonna do a perception to see if there's anything that I recognize on this woman,
Go ahead.
because it's very odd. This whole thing is very odd. All of y'all are the worst. All right.
So she, looking at her, like just generally looking over her, like it looks like some of her clothes are kind of, they clearly look kind of ripped up somewhat. And she looks kind of dirty. Like there's dust and stuff on her. But as for like identifiable markings or anything, you don't really notice much.
Okay. Well, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what Braundir's mom's name is. Catherine.
Cathris.
Are there any critters around?
No.
Okay, dang. I was going to speak with animals and send a message back and just say that some lost dwarf is out here and tell the sentinels. But I guess she's on her own. So, I'm going to take away any other alcohol she has, and in return, I'm going to give her my water sack.
Okay, so you take away 5 bottles of ale.
Wow.
2 more bottles of like hard spirits.
Freak. Okay.
I'll take one of the bottles of hard dwarven whiskey.
You're not taking anything
Talkative.
from me. These are mine. I won them fair and square.
All right.
And then I drink one of the L's.
All right.
Are the spirits the sunshine? Let's say that they're sunshine.
Yeah, they're sunshine.
Ephelien,
Sleight of hand to steal one of them.
Ah, I hate you guys so much.
So I think that would that be perception for Braundir?
Either perception or just passive perception.
Yeah.
Let's say, what's your
Passive.
what's passive?
Perception is 15.
Yeah, she takes off you.
That's stupid. And I'll look down by Ephelien. I put them like inside my cloak now. They're mine. I'm saving them for a special time.
That's awesome.
Let's go. I have no idea what this was. So
Gerbo like gets in the carriage.
Look, if you guys would have like started driving away, she would have started throwing rocks at the carriage and stuff. Like, just saying.
You just needed a good fight.
Look, that was I just thought that'd be a hilarious random encounter. That's why I put him in there.
That was fantastic.
That was
Okay.
really great.
So that is how you spend your first day traveling.
Good.
Ephelien's hair looks a little bit darker now.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
She's drinking.
Because she's drunk.
She's drinking.
Because she
Right.
had a non-depressing encounter, basically.
Nice. Oh,
Aw.
my slight elvish friend. I see a little tickle of green behind those ears. That looks quite good. Yes.
It's just the sun.
All right.
And
And I
how
look
many
back to the
hours
sun,
did I
and we're
study?
like,
Well, how many hours do you study?
Yeah.
So I think for the first day of travel, I'm gonna say you get at least 7 hours worth.
Perfect.
Because the first, I would imagine an hour would be taken up by both the pony shenanigans and then this drunken dwarf shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
So weird.
Not everything has to have a deep explanation.
No, I
Braundir.
mean I love it. Let's keep going.
All right.
Those of you that took
Okay.
damage, if we end up resting tonight, y'all can
I mean,
do your long
keep in
rest.
mind that there is going to be that's it for the day. So we're going to roll over to the next day. So all your
Yeah.
damage you've taken is already gone.
Long rest.
That's good.
That was essentially for comedic effect.
Well, there's a chance it could have been something much worse. So.
That's true. I guess depending, you guys could have just ended up in a combat with a drunk dwarf, and she might have done something.
Yeah, that could have been really bad. Who
Might have
knows?
kicked all of our
She's
butts.
like the premier warrior princess of the dwarven, clan.
She's on Dwarven PCP.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
even know it.
Eating dwarven bath salts.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
So is there are there any settlements or villages on this route, or are we pretty much going to be wilderness camping the whole way there?
I'd say there's probably there's not going to be there. You might encounter a homestead,
Okay.
or two, but you're pretty remote.
Mhm.
While we're near the
There's-
trees, I want to use locate animals and plants to try to find some plants to make healing potions with.
Oh, okay. So, I think that just gives you the locations, right?
Yeah, as long as there are some within 5 miles.
Well, I would say that for healing potions, you would find there'd be a remote cave that
Mhm.
would have some healing, like some ingredients for potential healing components.
Like
You-
Athelas or whatever.
what?
Athelas. Whatever the stuff that Aragorn used to heal Frodo.
Yeah, right. Sure. Let's go with that. So you can roll survival to see how much you get.
Okay, does the locate spell give me any advantage
Yeah.
on it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay. $25.
Yeah. So you find enough for 3 healing potions worth, and you'll have to take the time to make them,
Mhm.
but there's enough at least for 3.
Yeah, I'll use my herbalism kit to start working on them.
Nice.
All right.
I think Cella might that evening take flight again, and try to work on her flying skills and kind of wing over towards the redwoods to see what she can see.
Oh, at night. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll perception. And I don't know what would be a flying check.
Yeah.
If there's not
Maybe.
anything too dangerous, you probably wouldn't need to make one.
Probably not. Well, I'm just thinking of it as her improving her flight skills. I
Oh
guess.
yeah, that's true. She's not very experienced.
Strength
Yeah.
or dexterity or
I feel like that'd probably be a more dexterous thing.
Acrobatics.
acrobatics?
I
About dex.
think just dex.
Oh, dang it.
Not great.
Cella's still got a long way to go.
She's got a long way to go with flying. So,
Before she left,
You-
I cast Beast Sense so I can see what Cella sees.
okay, that's nice. Good, good. So you fly over the redwoods. At least like the outer parts of it, right?
Yeah.
As you're flying over, you're struggling to get like like it was far easier for you to fly on an air current, right?
Yeah.
Up on the Duergar Mountains. Well, here you're struggling to keep yourself
Up.
in the air because
Yeah.
there's not as much of an obvious air, like the airflow here is not great. So so you end up getting a little closer than you may like to the
Oh.
trees.
Okay. Okay.
There's not a lot that you can see in the redwoods itself because the tree coverage is so thick that you can't really see the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But what little you can see is as you're flying over, you spot what looks like maybe a ghost.
Oh. Okay.
It just seems to be wandering around the woods. As you fly, get close, really close to the tree line, it's more of the sounds you hear rather than what you see, and you hear.
Oops, wrong. Don't stop it. Don't look at it. I didn't mean to.
What?
Nothing. Continue.
Okay. You hear this distant, I guess, groaning,
Mm.
and occasionally you hear the sounds of what sound like could be combat.
Mm. Do I see any other birds around?
You occasionally spot some crows flying overhead, but not many.
Okay. I'd like to try and find another bird to talk to.
So, on one of the trees, like at the very top, you see a crow that's kind of in repose, I guess, just kind of chilling out.
Okay.
I guess you can try and clumsily land next to him.
Is that acrobatics?
What
Yeah.
form have you taken?
Eagle. It's like a giant eagle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
got the
man,
range
you
check.
stick the landing. You learned your lesson from the Duerbar Mountains when you kind of skidded along the rocks.
That's right.
So you managed to actually nail the landing now, and you're next to this crow. And the crow's kind of startled
Yeah.
and is about to fly off when it sees you because you're pretty big and scary.
Yeah. Probably eagles probably would eat crows.
Hmm.
Say, "Hold,
Especially,
friend." Yeah.
what? Ah, I'm not food. Not tasty. I'm not tasty.
Old friend, I'm already full for the night. You're in luck. Just have some questions.
Huh?
What news? What news from the redwoods? What is the sound of fighting I hear? Who is fighting?
Ah, ah. Dead.
Still? And the druids?
Fighting. Dead.
I see. Twilight?
Ah.
I'll take that as you don't know. Well,
No.
anything we should be worried about out here?
Dead.
Well, this is a very stimulating conversation. Fine. I don't think this is going anywhere. We can go back to perching, reposing.
If he flies away, the second is like, you can go back. He just flies a bit like before you say anything else.
Okay. All right. So things are still active in the redwoods. I think Cella's gonna like smartly fly away and head back to the encampment then.
All right.
Gerbo, are you done with your book yet?
So I read throughout the day,
Yeah.
and I read 7 hours, and I think tonight, I made an Arcana check because I wanted to like be around Ephelien as she was like crafting these things, just to kind of like see what kind of magic she's using.
I think it's
Do
just
it.
herbalism.
So
What now?
you're not using magic. You're just like using your brain.
Yeah.
Just good old fashioned herbalism.
If you're proficient with herbalism kit, you can craft healing
Nice.
potions.
Yeah.
I don't
This
have...
is kind of a, I guess it's kind of a homebrewed rule system that Brett came up with for crafting healing potions and
Well,
stuff like that.
it's mostly the same as what's in the guides. It's just
The
a
time
little,
is,
a little faster. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
I don't, being familiar with both like druidic magic and arcana, like, crafting potions and things was something I was familiar with, but I didn't know, I don't know how to do. And so I was just like, I was making a check to see like what kind of magic he might be using.
So, is that what your Arcana roll was earlier?
I was just trying to like see.
Okay,
And
well,
too early.
well, even then, like you would just be like, oh, I've never seen actual chemistry before, because that's effectively what's happening right now, or alchemy, I guess you could say. So yeah, you're surprised to find there's no magic involved.
Cool. No problem.
But it was a great Arcana roll.
It was.
We'll get arcana roll.
All right. After that, everyone's going to turn in,
Yeah, I think so.
and now it's the dawn of a new day. I guess it's going to be like here. If you can see the map.
Mm-hmm.
That marks day 1.
All right.
Day 2. Time to roll again.
Let's do it.
Let us fly.
Yeah, I think Cella will fly for a while this morning.
Okay.
I think she'll take her eagle shape for the first 4 hours of the morning.
Okay. So, as you guys are going along, who's got the highest? Actually, I guess. Who's got high perception in the group?
I've got +4.
I have +6.
Mine's +5.
So it'd be a Braundir and a Ephelien. Okay,
Oh wait, unless the eagle is more perceptive. I guess technically I'm an eagle.
right. Eagles are very
I
perceptive.
was gonna say, let me see what.
I think they have advantage.
Yeah, +7 perception.
Yeah.
Still bad though.
You have advantage on perception?
I think they have advantage on perception that relies on sight.
Dang.
Passive perception is 17.
So,
Oh yeah, it has advantage on wisdom and perception checks.
There you go.
Yeah.
So 23.
Oh, it rolled twice. That's right.
well, yeah. So,
Yeah.
basically, 2 of you did well enough. As you guys are passing through, kind of, I guess, this region. It's been a couple hours since you guys have set out for the day. Ephelien. Actually, at first it would probably be Cella as an eagle.
Mhm.
As you're flying overhead, you notice something, like your eagle eyes are extremely like you're able to hone in on details on the ground that you would have missed even on the ground. And what you see is that it looks like there's a lot of wagon tracks that look erratic, and they go off the road and into the mountains, kind of up ahead of you guys. Ephelien, you also notice these wagon tracks.
I call out with a majestic eagle screech.
Okay.
Good. That was a great eagle
I'm
screech.
sorry. I didn't want to scream into the microphone.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Just really gonna say, any idea what that means?
Thank you. Okay, Gareth. Thank you.
No, not sure.
Yeah. And then I just give her a thumbs up, and we keep going.
Okay.
So,
Can I fly? Can I follow the tracks and fly over in that direction?
you can.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I wing over and try to see where they go.
So you fly for probably about 10 minutes, maybe. And they lead to a cave. And it looks as if there is a there's a wagon that's outside of the cave. And it looks to be kind of ransacked and turned over.
Okay. So it's like 10 minutes, it's like flying, so it's like pretty far off our path.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll turn around and head back to our group. I think I'm worried about bandits at this point. I'm gonna try to go alert everybody.
Yeah.
Can I make it back to them before something happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can.
So I wing down over the wagon and try to come out of eagle shape and stick the landing again. We'll see how it goes this time. Oh!
Ooh.
Ooh! Dang it.
You
Not
kind of
great.
just tumble onto the ground. You don't take any damage, but you're very embarrassed.
I bring the Sebastians to a halt and say, you okay there, bud?
Like, from the dirt, I look up and I'm like, I think there may be some bandits ahead. Well, maybe not ahead, but back there with the wagon tracks. Well, we need to be. I wanted you to be careful. That's why I would have rushed. You know, if I would have been less concerned for all of you, I might have taken more time and had a more graceful landing.
Of course. Yeah,
I'm
yes.
that good of a person, so
Uh,
you're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. So, what exactly did you see to make you think bandits of all things?
Well, admittedly, I don't know that much about bandits, but there was a wagon in the mountains, and it was turned over, and looked like it had been picked through, and it was right in front of a cave, which all sound like very bandity sort of things.
Well, fair enough. Are you suggesting we go in there? Are you just raising awareness? Because I guess we have all the time in the world, but not really interested in losing any more Sebastians than we have to.
I agree. I don't think you should go looking for trouble. Trouble won't come looking for you.
And how far ahead is this from here?
Well, it's 10 minutes flying, so
Probably more like 30 minutes.
When we
30
get-
minutes to an hour.
When we get
What?
close to the cave, I'll go take a look.
did you say get you close to the cave?
When we get close to the cave, I'll go take a look.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
if you wish, just be careful. Yeah. So we'll carry on. Thanks for the heads up, Cella.
All right. I think I'll stay here on the ground for now.
Yeah. How about you just climb in and rest your wings a little bit.
Fair enough. And she climbs in the back with Gerbo.
Who's been desperately trying to read this entire time.
Yep.
He has his bedroll out.
Does he get
Always.
motion sickness?
Ooh.
Is there anything in that book about how to heal a sprained wrist?
Probably.
Ooh.
Nope, not at all.
You're getting nauseous, Gerbo.
Motion sickness.
Motion sickness.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
don't feel so good.
So how many hours have we been driving already today?
At
A
least
lot.
a couple hours, like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. And I'm gonna close the book, and I'm gonna look up at Cella and say, "Your screeching was quite annoying."
I don't even know what to say to that. Well, you try to do better when you're an eagle.
Well, maybe someday I will become an eagle. That would be a sight, wouldn't it?
You'd be a very small eagle,
Yes, maybe so.
but probably a very fast, sneaky one.
And I put my hat of disguise on,
Oh no.
and I turn into Cella, and I say, "Probably a fast, sneaky one."
Now that's just annoying.
No, that's just annoying.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Don't make me use one of my actual spells on you.
Don't
And
make me
that's-
use one of
and-
my spells on you.
And that's when we cut away from the scene as you were both bickering. Perfect. So, I would say it would be just a few minutes more before you guys end up towards those wagon tracks that are leading off into the mountains that Cella found.
Stop here. We don't want the horses to get hurt.
Calls him to a halt.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull the horses over here, kind of close to the edge of the entrance. So, if you see anything, just let us know.
I kick open the door to the carriage, and I say, "Which female dwarf are we fighting now?"
If there's one in there, I'll come back and let you know.
It's a whole gang of female dwarves. All of them drunk. All of them want to fight Braundir.
Each random encounter is just like more of that.
Yes, it's like the little polygons from Super Mario 64.
Okay. So, Ephelien, you want to go take a closer look?
Yep.
Okay. So it's probably about 30 minutes or so of travel, and you find yourself near a cave. And just like Cella said, there is a overturned wagon that's outside. It looks like some of the a wheel or two has already been kind of just torn off. It looks like, and what supplies it had are kind of just littered across the ground.
I will look for signs of animals, beasts,
Investigate.
like a bear.
It's either nature or investigation, I guess.
Would it be
Whichever one
survival?
is better.
Survival
Survival.
tracks.
Survival would make sense, yeah. Okay, so as with your stealth check, let me see. Your stealth check's good. Survival, you see very large tracks belonging to something that is big. There's several of them, and they seem to be going into the cave.
Can I determine what? Does it look humanoid?
It looks. Hold on. Let me.
Oh no.
It looks human. I need to. There we go. It doesn't look. Let me see here.
What are you
Sorry.
up to?
While you're doing that, I made a
It doesn't. It looks like rather than humanoid, it looks giant in nature.
Oh, so really big.
It's really big.
Can I tell how many?
You would guesstimate anywhere from 2 to 4.
And it looks like they went into the cave, right, and they haven't come back out recently.
Right, that's what it looks like.
Okay, I'll go back quietly.
While Ephelien was gone, I made a sleight of hand roll to try to steal some of the alcohol.
Wow.
I want to say Braundir's currently drinking one of the ales.
Good God, you crit on it, of course.
Yeah, and
30.
I super critted
Wow.
it. Like, I super critted it.
I'm going to say that he takes the ale out of his hand and he doesn't notice.
Yeah, right. Like Braundir's
Yeah.
just like, huh? What? I thought I brought out. Oh, silly me! And he just brings out the other ale.
Are you just like flagrantly drinking in the front of Cella in the back of the wagon now?
Pretty much.
Really all so petty, but it's kind of fun. right.
I look out the window and I see Ephelien walking back to us.
Yeah.
Good news, I hope.
I just hop back on the wagon. There's a cave with female dwarfs up there. We need to get out of here.
Oh no, Braundir.
And they are big ones. They are very big.
As
Well,
fast
you
as
heard the elf.
it's fast enough for me.
Very big female dwarves. They're all drunk.
Yep.
Giant, sleeping, drunken female dwarves.
Yeah, let's go, but keep your eyes open.
All right. Well, we'll remember this spot if we did it go into the cave, perhaps?
It looks like they were in that cave.
Just real quick history check if I know anything about that
Yeah.
entrance.
So, you don't know anything about that particular cave? I mean, there are all kinds of caves dotted across the mountains, right?
Right.
So, not one in particular doesn't stick out to you. However, as a Ephelien, I would assume she mentioned giant footprints and stuff. Maybe.
Mhm.
I would say that Braundir would guess that these might. There are some trolls that live in and around the mountain, some remote areas of the mountains. That could be what they are.
Well, if
You get the other charger.
history serves me right, then this isn't really a place where I want to hang around. But trolls can be valuable and useful if needed. But I don't see any reason for staying here if you don't.
Have I encountered trolls before?
I'd say you might have, yeah. You probably have encountered them at least once.
Do I know that you have to have fire or acid to kill
Right.
one?
Right.
Then I would definitely want to get the fuck out of here because we can't fight trolls. We don't have anyone that
Then
can do fire or acid.
That can do what?
Uh,
Fire
do
or
that.
acid.
Oh yeah, I have acid and fire, but I don't
Okay,
want to do
good.
it alone. So
Is that what you guys are driving right now?
Tiny wagon.
that's it.
That's
What?
amazing. That is amazing.
I originally said covered wagon, but I like this so much more.
Yeah.
that
No, this is good.
Honestly, it's the size on the inside looks pretty accurate.
yeah. Oh my god.
It's completely scaled down.
That's
Western
genuinely amazing.
Cella has to like lean forward like she's riding in the back seat
Yeah,
of a
I'm like
sports car.
I'm like hunched over, like one arm like stuffed into the cabin. Oh,
Okay, so as we're riding, I look at Cella and I say, "You know, I mentioned the rain.
the rain.
Well, if we get to the lake, and I hope we do, it will be raining. Do you? I can only imagine that, as we encounter beasts, electricity will do well.
That's very, very astute planning, Master Gnome. And I agree with you. And I will have to reflect on some of my electric spells.
And I'm gonna say, as well as whoever we do encounter, but there'll be a couple of different types of elves, mostly nature-oriented, moon-focused elf communities, and so I just need you to know that don't turn into any moon creatures.
Moon creatures.
Well, I don't know what I don't know how your shapeshifting
What is
works.
it? What exactly is a moon creature?
I don't know, and
Like
I
a
don't
werewolf?
want to find out.
Have you been to the moon?
Not yet.
Have they been to the moon?
Well, these people are highly obsessed with the moon, and I need you to know that you should not turn into a moon creature.
Well, I feel feel like it's rather hard to promise not to do something that you don't know what it is.
Well,
I
good.
think
We're on the same.
Cella. I think I would imagine that you probably piece together what he's trying to say is that they might be druids that are associated with the circle of the moon.
Yeah, no, I got that. I just don't understand what a moon creature is.
right. You just think at this point he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Res, fear not, Master Gerbo. I won't embarrass you by assuming the form of any glowing orbs around your elf friends.
Are you able to turn into a fish?
Well, actually, yes.
Well, I was thinking that, as we get to the lake, that might be pretty useful because, to my knowledge, the elemental temple's at the bottom of the lake.
That would make sense. My aunt Valkyra said that it's in the lake. In the lake. Have you ever seen it? Aren't you from the Amakira forest?
Well, I've seen the lake, and the lake, Fennis Lake is about the size of the redwoods.
Oh my.
So it is quite large.
How will we ever find a temple in a lake that large?
Well,
We have to watch for people going in and out.
I imagine that one of our friends has a detect gate thing. Maybe we can use that in some kind of way.
It
Or
does have a
maybe
range
we
of a
can
mile,
change-
which is a lot, but a mile might not be enough for a lake that big.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this math is serving us right, it takes 1 day to travel across the lake by Sebastian carriage.
By Sebastian carriage. Yeah, so going by Sebastian miles, what is the scale of this map?
Sebastian Miles.
It takes at least one full Sebastian to get across this lake.
My God.
Theoretically, you could put your ring on one of the horses and you could ride it across the lake.
Dang,
But not all of them, unfortunately.
Yes.
Where would
Just
we-
one.
that's
I can
amazing.
give it a nose ring, and then I can ride across the lake.
That's
That'd be
right.
Like Elsa on Frozen 2
That's right. That's right.
on her water
That's
horse.
amazing.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And then I'll just say to Cella that, maybe you can turn into a creature that can use some sort of detection underwater. I've read about those before.
Yes, I think. Admittedly, I'm not extremely skilled with underwater creatures. There's not an abundance of water in the redwoods where I'm from, but I could do my best. And I think a lot of aquatic creatures have a sort of modified echolocation or can sense different fields around them. So perhaps we could figure something out.
I take a drink of the dwarven ale and I say, "It sounds like you should figure that out."
How do you feel about going back to your home forest?
Well, honestly, it depends on how I arrive. If they can see that I'm as powerful as I said I was going to be, if I can make them regret not making me in their lineage, then maybe I'll feel good about my return.
So you want to impress them?
Well, that would be the goal.
Always.
Braundir leans back and says, "Did you show them your scroll?"
Well, considering they gave me the scroll, I can't say it has much worth there.
Well, you never know. It's worth trying.
A family is one of the few groups of people that you don't have to pretend for in this world. Why do you need to pretend to be something else for them, for these people, if they truly can be?
I don't think it's much as pretending as it is as much as them realizing that I had the knowledge and the political power, but because I wasn't an elf and I was a gnome, I was never going to be recognized.
I see. Did they treat you well when you lived there?
Oh, of course. Why do you think I requested hot tubs and jacuzzis? And of course, where else would I have gotten that sort of lifestyle from?
I mean, did they treat you well as a person?
Oh, well, I did have access to any book I wanted, and I did meet Emmaus himself and studied under him.
The historian.
Yes, he was quite something. I hope he's still alive.
I've heard the name. You'll have to forgive me. I don't have much, well, book learning, as it were.
And I take another swig of the drink and kind of look out the window and I say, "With time."
If we manage to cleanse this lake from corruption, don't you think they would be impressed by that?
Well, now that you say it, I
It's onto
imagine
something.
that would be that would be something, wouldn't it? I think I can only hope that we're going to arrive with maybe our names will be familiar. Well, at least Braundir's and I. They might not know the two of you yet, but if if my connections come in handy, then maybe they'll respect you as much as they respected me.
All right. So we come to nightfall. You guys have traveled a decent ways away from the troll cave. Are you guys going to keep trying to go even as it's night, just to kind of get further away? I assume Ephelien would want to.
I think
Mhm.
Cella trusts whatever she says.
I mean, I can meditate for 4 hours during the drive, and then I can stay up all night and watch. Or just
Yeah.
continue driving. I could drive.
Okay. So Ephelien will continue driving and kind of taking watch.
Nice.
I'll obviously still have to take breaks occasionally because the horses can't go forever, but
Sure, yeah. I'd say it'd probably be about midnight by the time you're forced to kind of stop by the horses.
How far
Oh.
can a little Sebastian go?
That's true.
That's the real question.
Well, far
For
enough to...
Sebastian power, gets you around 30 miles an hour. So, you know, and you want them to be fueled up every, I don't know, let's say 1,000 miles or so. And
When do you
I don't know
rotate,
how that.
rotate the tires?
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta tend to the hooves, the hoovies, and brush out the tail. Check all the motor oil spots.
You gotta tend to the
And,
hoovies.
You gotta feed the nosies. Give them little apple carrot treats.
Yeah.
And so yeah, definitely, Sebastians are delicate creatures.
All right.
So don't want to overwork them. We're not in a
No.
dead rush.
So I would say, Ephelien, you actually take yourselves a little further. So now it takes a little less time because you hoofed it a little further.
Badooch.
Nice.
Right.
once the horses are tired, I'll go forage for Sebastian food.
Probably good.
Roll,
Can
roll
we
survival.
Yeah, can we see, like, please roll to tell us what Sebastians eat?
Whoa.
Nice.
Just anything. Like,
Like goats.
They're like the catfish of the
right.
plain.
Like you managed to find like all in a sort like different like vegetables and mushrooms that you know are edible.
That's awesome.
And the Sebastians love it, all of it.
Just grass,
great.
probably, too.
Just grass. You find a lot of obviously grass. Okay,
All right.
so that's awful too. That's
When we camp, when we come to camp,
mhm.
well, maybe not when we come to camp, but I'm gonna do 2 more hours of studying today.
Yeah.
He's 3/4 there.
It's getting there.
36 or 48 hours.
So basically, you traveled another half day's worth because of Ephelien's thing.
But while I do that,
And-
you guys will have to cuddle up inside the tiny carriage and sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Cuddle up.
imagine how we all sleep inside the carriage.
I mean, I guess Cella can sleep as a mouse or something.
Oh,
That's true.
only for 4 hours though.
That's true.
Hmm.
Yep.
That would be a shocking wake up in the night.
It's tiny mouse exploding outward.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think Cella tries her best to lay down across one of the benches in the coach. Her legs are like hanging out the window.
Okay.
I think she gets up after a while and decides to go sleep on the ground.
I've got
Sure.
my fluffy bedroll.
Gerbo, I bet you could find a way to make this a convertible.
Right.
At least, we could maybe, like, I'm sitting in the back, like, where I'm, like, in the back seat looking out towards where the Sebastians would be. I'm like, maybe we could, like, make this where, like, half the roof flips over, and that way these taller folks can just ride with their heads out and not have to worry about being hunched over.
Oh, a sunroof.
Yeah, of sorts. You being the nice trinket worker that you are, maybe you could find a way to do that.
Okay, I'm going to try a roll here. What would you like for me to roll?
Intelligence, like as you did to make the umbrellas.
You could add Tinker's tools to your skills because you're able to add additional custom skills.
It's a good call.
Well, you're able to do it with incredible ease because you rolled really high.
Nice.
So you're able to convert the top of the carriage in such a way as to where the lid of it can pop off.
We can use Braundir's great axe to cut the wood.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. That should be a much more comfortable ride for... I'm not sure how much longer we'll be in this thing, but... still keep the integrity of the wonderful vehicle it is.
You guys are
Reasonably
gonna make it to
valued.
the forest by, well, if Ephelien keeps up the pace, she could make it like midnight that night, basically.
Sure.
So let's roll one more random encounter. You guys completely evaded that encounter.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Definitely
Yeah,
for the
there you go.
best.
So let's roll a d12. Okay, so as you guys are going along throughout the day, you pass through some small collections of a few trees. And as you're going along, there's a lot of birds. And something very odd happens. The birds, like the bird song, right, is unusually coordinated and very vocal. It sounds very beautiful. And
Melodic.
Cella, you gain a point of inspiration from it.
Oh,
Gain
Wow.
that
Interesting.
inspiration.
I'm trying to figure out what it looks like for Cella to be inspired by the bird song.
A tear.
A single
A
emo
single tear.
That's right.
Single. Nice. Why me?
'Cause that's just the encounter.
Okay.
Actually, let me see.
Oh,
Yeah, you're the only one. Well, Jet's the only one that'd be applicable
okay.
Nice.
All right.
amongst the group.
She was so inspired she left the game.
Yep, she's just gone. Left.
Well, as soon as I heard it, I drew my bow and started looking around for enemies, so I wasn't going to get inspired.
No, not at all.
Wow, I feel inspired. Maybe I'll be able to fly better now.
Or land better.
Nice.
Yes, you're right. Landing does seem to be the problem. I'm well aware. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So
Onward.
it's a pretty peaceful ride from here on out. Is there anything else you characters would like to do during this day of travel?
I am going to spend this entire day
Reading. Yes.
and I'm going to read for 12 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
All
I don't
right.
think I can ever read anything for 12 hours.
Good.
Well, Gerbo was very studious when he was.
He is.
Mhm.
He is for sure.
He
I'm just
was
trying to
in
think about me
California.
and Zach being able to read anything for 12 hours. It'd have to be.
And I have completed my manual of bodily health in my 6-day time period.
Yay.
Nice.
There you go.
So
Nice.
my constitution score increases by 2.
That's right.
Nice.
Get a better con.
Heck yeah.
That should improve your health.
It should make you not almost die in every battle.
Well, I can only.
I mean, that could still happen, but
Mhm. I'll continue trying to craft health potions.
all right. I would say that I forget how long it takes to craft one health potion. Remind me.
Let's see if we go by the dock that I made. Let me check it. A regular health potion is crafting time is 4 hours.
My health is.
I have to make a
51
DC
now.
12. And I failed in the first one.
Oh. Try again. Yeah.
Much better.
Nice.
Much better.
Always make a second batch.
You said there's enough for 3, right?
Yeah. So make a third roll.
Alright, let's see.
Not
Nope.
great.
Not great. I got 1.
Okay, you got one health potion.
Worth it.
It's okay, I'll look for more ingredients when we get to the forest.
Okay.
Heck yeah. Where are we at now?
So it was basically just a peaceful days of travel. So let me go back to draw mode.
Draw mode.
You in the middle of the night or around that time you guys enter the forest.
Okay. As we enter the forest, I am going to brief everyone,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell them specifically about the story. I'm going to say, while we're in the forest, there's a few things that we need to know. We could encounter a few different types of people, a few different types of elves, maybe some dwarves. Hopefully not an orc. That would be weird, but it could happen. Fish people, a possibility as we get close to the water.
Did you say fish people?
It is very rare, but if you do turn into a fish underwater, you might encounter them. I have never spoken with one, so I do not know their temperament. So be on the lookout. The people we could be encountering are from the Circle of Dreams. They're kind of obsessed with the Fae, which we could be in our favor if we come across them.
Ephelien, how is that going to interplay with you and your background?
Hopefully they won't try to kill me.
Yeah, we're specifically told not to turn into any moon creatures, so I don't know if you fall under that realm, just de
Yes,
facto.
yes. Ephelien, if you're hiding some sort of change creature spells things, just don't turn into a moon creature.
Okay, I don't think I can. I can summon a normal animal. I don't know what kind of uh, I don't know what kind of inhabitants your moon has here, but I'm not familiar. I didn't read about what lives on the moon, so not sure.
Circle of Dreams, are those elves?
Druids.
Druids.
I've only ever heard of them, but they're known to me.
They are interesting. That I have met a few in my fun time.
Your wild young years.
Yes, well, you know, we I have some guild friends that we may encounter, maybe not, but if we do, I'll make sure we pass without any worries.
In general, these moon druids, where do they fall along the liking outsiders, hating outsiders kind of spectrum?
Well, just to clarify, the moon people are the elves.
The moon people.
The moon people, the people who are focused on the moon, elves. The Circle of Dreams, who are more Fey focused, are druids.
I see.
Yes,
Right, you are.
and so if the skies are clear, then we may come across some folks. Just to be on the lookout.
And these moon elves, do they go by a name?
Well, not that I'm aware of. I only know them through my guild.
So, yeah, I mean, I could shed some light as a DM.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, Drew's here.
So they tend there's two different communes or communities, I guess you could say. The Rose Meadow commune is the one that has more of the Circle of Dreams types of druids, and the Mallow Coast commune is more. It's kind of where the Moon Druids tend to congregate. I mean, there's not like a particular membership requirement or anything, but and a lot of them, of course, don't affiliate with either, and so they're just kind of hanging out in the forest because that's what druids do.
It's what you do. When you're a druid, it's what you do.
Do I know what a moon druid is?
I think you might, or at the very least, you know of the type of druid.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll say, I think moon druids are just good at turning into animals. I don't think they actually have any much to do with the moon. It might be different
So
here.
there's moon druids and moon elves? I'm getting confused here.
I think most of the druids are elves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
And Gerbo, who's chiming in here, is going to say, well, you know, it all comes out in the wash. When you're around so many elves and you're not one, it's just all you're focusing on is, you know, their type, not really much else.
Feel the same way about orcs.
Yes, well, speaking of orcs, if it comes up, we're not affiliated with any wizard kings, okay? Okay? Everybody agree? We're not affiliated with him.
I mean, isn't that true? Are we?
Yeah, I don't remember being affiliated with a wizard king.
Good. So if it is asked, we are all not
God.
affiliated with a wizard king.
Oh God, I'm a terrible liar. I can't. Are we or are we not?
So
Actually,
we are, but we're not.
No, not at all. Actually, none of us. The Wizard
But you
King.
brought it up as if we
Well,
were.
it could
I
could
think
be
I would
asked.
remember
And
meeting a wizard king.
okay, but I don't want you to mistake a Wizard King with any other wizards that you know who could also be kings.
I'm sorry, but that totally could have been like, now we're not affiliated with the Wizard King, you know, the Wizard King that I'm totally not affiliated with.
Right.
That's what it sounded like.
We're all on the same page. None of us are affiliated.
I'm affiliated with a queen that might dabble in wizardry, among many other things, but
Yes, and my order leader is also a magic wielder
That totally okay. Honestly, totally fine.
because they're queens.
Totally fine.
but you
I
need
don't
wizard
think
like
you'll be mistaken for the Wizard King that is very, very known around here.
you mean wizard like arcane scholar, right?
Gnome, why don't you just explain yourself rather than making us talk in circles and worry to
No
death?
need to explain. Let's carry on into the forest.
I guess we'll find out what
Alright.
happens when it comes across.
In my experience, wizards are often drawn into dark magic, so I'm not surprised.
I'm not
Especially-
even gonna offer any clarification on that. It's just what it is, I guess.
All right.
So, I'd say you guys would enter the forest, and you probably would find a place to rest. Because keep in mind, it is kind of the middle of the night.
Hmm.
Because Ephelien kind of double timed it to a certain extent.
Yeah, just as we get just maybe 100 feet into the woods, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Master Gnome, are you familiar with the politics of this area? Are we in the territory of any particular circles?
Yeah, I feel like I warned you of the moon elves.
But this specific place right here, they live right here.
Well, I mean, it's a forest. There's not like it's an owned place.
Okay, I see.
I mean, people are constantly
Well, it's
traveling around, and if it's a clear night sky, we should be concerned. That's it. That's all I've got.
Cella,
Unless they
like,
could see the moon, is that it?
Cella, like
So what
flashes her teeth in irritation. I know how druids move about in their homes, Master Gnome. You'll do well to remember that I am a druid. I just mean that generally, where there are two factions or two sister tribes, that there's usually some sort of arbitrary demarcation between their territories.
What out here there really is not very much. I mean, as we approach a city, and we can talk more about the different houses, and I can get into that level of detail for you. But honestly, it's boring, and I left here for a reason. I mean, if you would like for me to, I mean, if you would like to learn about this, I mean, we probably can talk ad nauseum about it. I mean, House Alderin, and I kind of begin to go through the process and talk about
Right, you just
individual-
start.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, Gerbo. So, what does this Wizard King look like?
Well, honestly, it's a great question. It's more of he's more known for what he did, and who he did it with, than really,
What?
than realistically.
What
much
kind
else.
of wording is that?
So, it's a scandal.
Keep it highbrow, guys.
It's not.
Stay out of the muck.
I would call it scandalous. Yes.
Stay
I mean,
out of the muck.
if you would consider the fact that he and dwarvish kings, before the orcs went bad, attacked the orcs and potentially caused the orc wars, then yeah, I would say that that's pretty scandalous.
That doesn't sound like anything that dwarves would ever do, so obviously you have your facts incorrect.
Okay, well, we will If Emmaus is still alive,
That doesn't fit in my cultural narrative.
yeah. If
so-
Emmaus is still alive,
Just step off.
yeah. Laura
I saw a
Willing,
really accurate meme and bar chart on Rock
that's right.
that said the exact opposite.
Yeah. Well, Pelora Willing, I tell you that if Emmaus is still alive, you can tell him that that is wrong, and I'm curious how he will react.
Well, only time will tell.
Yes. Well, you need to probably stew on that fact for a while, because if it does become true, which it will, I can only imagine that that would be a very alarming fact for you.
There's only so much harm that it can actually do to me, but I am very interested to see this person you speak of. So
Yes.
Now,
and
how
remember,
far are
we
we
are
from
not affiliated with the Wizard King at all.
right,
Can you understand now why we're not affiliated with the Wizard King?
I now want to speak to the Wizard King more than ever, frankly.
Well,
It's gonna be
Do-
rather difficult.
are you a necromancer?
No, he's not a
Ah.
necromancer. That's a laugh.
Well, then we probably can't make that happen.
While they're talking, I'm gonna go talk to a squirrel.
Okay, do that. That's more.
we're
That's
that
more
boring.
beneficial. Ephelien,
I'm gonna ask it
So,
what people live in
honestly,
this
so
area.
good.
what now?
I'm gonna ask it what people live in this area.
I love Drew's animal noises.
Little yips.
Yeah.
There are elves. Few elves. One of them likes to hang out a lot.
Do they kill each other a lot?
Do
Are
they
they-
what?
Do they kill each other a lot, or are they peaceful?
No. One of them hangs out probably less than. Well, I don't think a squirrel would know what a mile is, but not far
Even
from
notice
here.
Bastion.
How many Sebastian kilometers, please?
Do the elves talk to you?
No, not me. Friends have talked to them.
Okay, that's a good sign. I'll give it a nut or something.
Okay. You give it an acorn.
Yeah.
He's
Aw.
very happy, and he shoves it into his
Squeak,
mouth.
squeakity, squeak, squeak,
Squeak,
squeak,
squeak,
squeakers.
Little squeakers.
Sorry.
Just wait till I get speak with plants, and then it'll really be on.
Oh no.
Yes, so good.
That'll be some really, really slow dialogue.
Yep.
How old is this tree? Oh, it's been here for hundreds of years. I'm gonna speak to it right now.
I mean, who better to speak to?
Decided.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
You say hello. 5 minutes later. Hi, small folk.
Yeah. We have decided you are not orcs.
yeah, exactly that.
It's amazing.
All right.
So, while they're bickering amongst each other, Ephelien will return to the wagon.
Braundir and Necromancer. Now, I just can't get it out of my head. Honestly, it's not like it's just a simple stage trick or a puppet show or something like that. It's a complicated thing, bringing people back from the dead. You know.
I regret saying this, but I have done it before.
It's true, he did. He brought his own father back from the dead.
It's frankly terrifying and ruined everything I ever hoped
Ella,
to relinquish in my life.
Stands
So-
up and she's like on her feet, looking down at you right now.
I mean, it's here said and gone. There's nothing to be mad about, so you can sit back down, please. Be my guest.
Didn't you use some kind of lich's phylactery or something?
There's no need to get into details or the why, when, or how, or the matter. The fact is that
Ella is
I ended up tackling Varghast, and that's that.
you really should take more caution in the future playing with the forces of life and death.
There's only one way to learn and find out, and because of that, I'm not in my home. So as much as you want to berate me on this, really, you're only reinforcing something that's already happened.
Well,
Also-
if there's one
Cella
person,
goes back to stewing.
if there's one person we're not bringing back from the dead, it is the Wizard King.
I'm sure someone's tried.
What if someone tried?
I'm sure
No.
someone has tried.
Well, yeah, I'm sure someone has tried as well, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Well, so what's the plan for tomorrow?
I look and do a nature check. It's bad.
It's very
And
bad.
I look up into the sky and see
Yeah.
what the sky is like. It's 18. So what do I see in the sky?
So right now the sky is fairly clear. However, whenever you look in the direction of the lake, it appears as though there are clouds.
I whip out my umbrella and I open it and I say, "Tomorrow, you're going to wish you had this."
Do you know, Master Gnome, that it does rain everywhere on this continent from time to time?
Well, that is probably true, but I am the one that is prepared.
Is there something concerning about this rain, or is it just water that falls from the sky?
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I have a hood.
I have a hood.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
perfect. It's still night, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll like
Imagine you.
sneak to check into my bag to make sure that other umbrella is still there, but I don't want Gerbo to know that I'm looking because
Okay, make a stealth check.
I don't want to make it appear like I'm actually concerned.
It's either a stealth. Let's say sleight of hand.
Oh, nice. Good call.
Oh.
So I want to like reach back and touch my bag, but I'll say my bag like falls over and like, oh. Well, I thankfully do have umbrella.
And I just like nod my head and just like, good.
And shuffle to put it back in.
Did Ephelien roll an insight check at some point?
I wanted to see if the rain is actually dangerous.
Huh.
It would be versus his deception, though,
Roll your deception,
which is
Gerbo.
probably
Okay.
higher.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
wow.
Yeah, Gerbo is a little higher.
I'm a little shook. But I try not to show it.
Amazing. Amazing.
You still have that hard dwarven liquor,
Yep.
Yeah.
sunshine, right?
Yeah.
I think we should probably try to go scout this temple. What do you all say? Do you think that we're going to be safe? Just the four of us?
You mean the temple at the bottom of the lake?
Yes.
How? I still don't know how I am going to get this, pointing at my body, down there.
There's
I
probably a
don't
way.
breathe underwater.
People go in and out, so there must be a way.
Yeah, they're druids though, right? I mean, can't druids like take other forms and breathe water? And I would expect someone to shape change, then maybe, but I don't know. It looks like I'll be holding post unless y'all have another plan.
Well, I do have the ability to shape one other person into some sort of water-breathing animal.
I slam my bottle down and I say, "Well, that is dandy, isn't it?"
Gerbo, do you know of anybody going in and out of this lake?
And I put my like arm down like on like maybe like some like little makeshift like table, like I'm gonna arm wrestle Braundir, and I say, "You're right. We should arm wrestle over who will be turned into a water creature."
I'm gonna say we're all huddled inside of this carriage.
Yes, it's
Absolutely
very
perfect.
tiny.
Perfect.
All right,
Wait,
and it's
is
like
the
one of those
top
fold-down
down?
tables that comes from the wall, and it's like,
Yep.
I put it down and like I was like, that's what I say.
okay.
There is magic that can allow 10 things to breathe underwater for 24 hours, but have to be slightly more powerful to use that spell. Have to be level
Wonder if we
9.
can find anybody with that, or who would even care to give that spell to us.
Do you have any gifted elven friends in the area?
Well,
Yeah, like these guild members you're talking about. Do they have any reason to help us out?
well, do they have a reason? You know how I help people all the time, and I am very a selfless gnome.
But
Of
we're with
course.
you. I mean, you surely didn't betray your own guild, did you?
No. I just stormed out of House Alderaan because they wouldn't give me what I want. That's really, I mean, that's all I did. Like, it's not like I was a part of a guild and they disowned me and they're never gonna welcome me back ever again.
Is this another one of those wizards that we don't talk to?
No. If we come across a guild member, I think it should be fine.
It should be.
Well, I'll rest assured in that confidence.
That's good. Now, were we going to arm wrestle over the fact that I'm going to get turned into a water creature, or you?
I'll arm wrestle you for the hell of it. I don't need a reason to a water creature.
Okay.
Let's roll on 3. 1.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Are you ready?
2.5. Yeah.
Okay. The loser gets to stay inside the buggy. 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, I get to stay inside the buggy.
Watch you roll 3 times.
I only meant to roll twice. But I don't have
Okay.
He just repeatedly slams Gerbo's arm down.
Like, I don't even think Braundir would feel any resistance. You just go BAM! Just
That's really
instantly.
funny.
When we put our hands together, I cast Shocking
Oh my
Grasp.
God.
Gosh. And I'm
Wow,
gonna say
that's
that
That's a hit now.
That's almost
it's one of
max
those things where I'm
damage
like
too.
being shook while like my hand is like clenched up and I'm like holding it into Gerbo. It's like, "Ah!"
So good. Honestly,
I'm gonna
so
roll to
good.
throw Gerbo out of the sunroof.
Okay.
I just remembered something, Effie.
Not great.
I can cast Water Walk, actually. Not Water Walk, Water Breathing. I can cast that.
Oh, yeah, that's the spell I was talking about.
I don't know how I just remembered that just now, but yeah, it
Well,
seems like a
What is it?
I remember it back in Druid school.
yeah,
I didn't pay much attention back then.
yeah. As I said, not much book learning, but somewhere in the dark, dusty corners of my memory, I have a water breathing spell. It works on up to
Hey.
10 people, for up to 24 hours.
Oh, lovely. We won't have to talk to the guild at all.
I would be happy to turn you into a minnow, Master Gnome. If
That's
you like.
only 3 of the 4 of us. If
What's that?
it's if wait, you said water breathing goes for how many?
Up to 10 people.
Oh, okay. I missed
Yeah,
that part.
10 people for 24 hours.
I
Like,
just got shocked to bits. I was not thinking straight.
Mm. Well, friends, if that's the case, then maybe we do go to House Alderan and we see if there's a few of my old schoolmates that want to join us, and maybe they need some adventure in their life. Because look, Laura knows I needed it when I was there.
Maybe someone will want to fund an expedition to cleanse the water temple.
Honestly, that is a great idea, and I think, well, in fact, I know that there's a ton of gold available, and what a great thing to do.
if there's one thing Gerbo knows best, is how much money all the houses have at their
Right.
Yes.
disposal.
Speaking of rewards, where are we at on the rewards from our last adventure?
Well,
When are funds being distributed? I'm running low.
I got some spell crystals.
Yeah, I think all of our rewards were right in here, and points to his heart.
Yes, I still have a reluctant friend hiding away in this salvaged pocket watch. But we're making progress.
So are we saying that my reward was this helm?
That's more than you had in the beginning, so take it as a reward.
And the
you did get
crossbow,
a,
right?
you
I
did get a
put the helm-
crossbow.
I
You
put the
did get a
helm on, and I cast Detect Thoughts on Braundir.
All right, here we go. So, detect thoughts. I think you automatically detect surface level thoughts, and if you want to probe deeper, you'd have to roll a wisdom check, right?
It's a save DC.
Yeah, Braundir has to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
13. Ooh.
Ooh.
So I only get surface level thoughts.
Right. So
that
what
might
is
have been his
Braundir
surface
thinking
thoughts.
about right now?
I'm thinking.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh no! This is Finn.
Okay, repeat it.
yeah, because you
like,
froze up.
I'm pretty upset by that hand shocking thing. So I was thinking about tripping Gerbo as he is walking back in. I imagine this royal palace and this long carpeted thing going up to a throne, and I just want to nudge him or trip him or something to where he stumbles and he's not as very graceful. Just some way to embarrass him.
Mhm.
But
That's good. That's
nothing
good.
irreparable, but just pretty much in the heat of the moment, still pretty upset from a shocking grasp, and so just looking for a little revenge, that type thing. Staring out the window, just looking at the trees, smoldering.
Holdering.
Oh.
Good stuff. Okay, cool. I take off the helmet and I look at him and I say, interesting.
Interesting.
And then I look at everyone and say, I won't tell you what he was thinking about, but maybe if it's okay with everyone, maybe we start in the morning.
How far away is it from here?
It is, I would say at least a day or two of travel.
Do you plan on bringing the Sebastians in here?
We'll have to find a place to put them.
Sebastians don't seem to be made for the forest.
Well, I can't just leave them here. Can we? Is there somewhere nearby that would take them in, at least, and hold them for us?
Well,
Not in this corner of the forest. Maybe in the other corner.
I'll cast Talk with Animals
okay.
to make you imitate another animal.
Yes, we need more animals, please.
Or what type of animal are you gonna talk to? I just have to know.
Yeah, we need to know now.
The Sebastians.
Oh, good.
Oh no. Wait, you're talking to the Sebastian?
Yeah.
Actually, have a Morgan Freeman voice.
Yes.
All right, I'll do my best.
Yeah. Hello there, tiny furry horse.
Ah, yes, it's the scary woman from before.
Look, I've really moved on past the whole hand biting on first greet thing, and would like to try to elevate our interactions a little bit from here on out. So anyway, being concerned for your well-being in spite of you, we are trying to figure out what to do with you now that we find ourselves in unfamiliar terrain. Can you find your way back to Durin safely?
Well, this is probably the furthest we've ever gone before.
Oh yes, but I understand that little Sebastians are possessed of extreme intelligence.
Of course we are, scary lady.
Well,
Scary lady.
you didn't really answer my question, did you, smart one? Do you think you can make your way home?
Probably so. Maybe.
I think they would get eaten by trolls.
Yeah.
You would probably get eaten by trolls. Well, what are we going to do with you then? I don't think you should come along in here.
And what am I hearing?
Oh man, no one asks that question when stupid
Are
animals
we over
happen.
here like...
Yeah. I just imagine that's what Cella is like, and you just hear these noises coming from the horse or the pony.
and then I turn over my shoulder and I say, Master Gerbo, are there any cities where these creatures would be safe?
Just tell them to go straight until they hit the water, and with the forest on their left and the rolling hills of the Badlands on their right. Stop for nothing, and if they get to the water, to wait there.
So I will say, just for convenience's sake, there is a dock that would probably have a stable or somewhere to keep your horses.
Mm-hmm. There'd be stable
Or
somewhere.
there's a dock if we find that to be more convenient. But think about it.
I say, okay, great, thanks. I turn back to Sebastian and say,
Yeah.
Does a good furry pony like a lake? Does a good pony like a little water?
Oh, they're not gonna like that.
We like water. That's true.
Oh, well, that's a good pony. Well, if you just go straight on ahead.
Don't be patronizing, scary lady.
Right. Well, if you go straight ahead, you'll find a dock with a stable, and they'll keep you there. You're welcome.
Very well.
Until we meet again. And she hisses at him.
It hisses back and like chomps its jaws as it's imitating to like bite you again.
So can they smell necromantic spores on her body?
Probably.
Probably.
I smell like death.
That's hilarious.
I like how little Sebastians are now my arch nemesis.
It's amazing. Great subplot, honestly. Like a very unexpected subplot.
Yeah, because
I
it's the
know.
druid. That's what makes it so crazy.
It's just
Oh, this is meta.
don't be patronizing, scary lady.
Well, I guess we'll camp and then try to find somewhere to put our Sebastians in the next day.
Okay. So you guys make camp. You're not very far into the forest. So it's a relatively peaceful and quiet.
I definitely put my coat in the trees above me just in case it rains, because I'm a little scared of what Gerbo said.
Ephelien thinks it's acid rain out here.
Yeah.
God, that'd be a little too
On the
intense.
rain stuff.
Look, I make some pretty harsh situations sometimes, but I wouldn't even go that far. I don't think. That'd be pretty intense.
Yes, but why have I been so shady about the rain? That is the question.
Right. Why is your character so shady? That's the real question.
Mhm.
No one will ever know.
It's
No one
good
will
stuff.
ever know.
I like knowing things.
Chella's very happy to be back in woodlands, even if they're a little
Right.
different from the redwoods.
Yes. The trees and everything around you is far more lively than you're used to.
And I hate it.
There's far less dead things in the woods. So, it's now morning. Everyone has had a decent night's sleep. Some of you have managed to sleep inside the carriage. Others not so much, I imagine.
Yeah, Chella's on the ground again.
So, as you wake up, you feel a few light raindrops hit your face.
I pull out my umbrella.
It's a very light sprinkle at the moment.
Chella pulls the hood of her cloak up and rolls over and keeps trying to snooze.
It rains a little harder. And there's a fat drop that lands right on your eye.
Ow!
I told you, watch out for the rain.
That's ghastly.
I'm gonna move over closer to like well, actually, I'm gonna slide myself underneath the coach
Okay.
and sleep there out of the rain.
Alright. I did say it was morning. I mean, I guess if you guys all want to sleep in, that's fine.
Oh, it's morning. My bad.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
morning. I
thought
did
the rain
want to.
Oh, okay.
We spend one day sleeping. No.
Yeah, right.
All that progress we made, we're just gonna waste it by sleeping the night away.
That's right. That's right. Parties have done worse.
Yep.
Yeah, we spent a whole campaign just sleeping through every day.
Again, parties have probably done worse.
Probably, yeah.
All right, Chella gets up and stretches and looks around for the little Sebastians.
All right. Well, Sebastian's. I imagine they're kind of hitched at this point. They're just kind of grazing on some grass. As soon as you get close, the one that you talk to, Cella, hisses at you.
I hiss back, but let me see if hold on. I wanna roll. What would this be?
Intimidation.
Yeah, no, I want to see, but I want to see if I'm scared of it.
Are you scared of it?
I want to see if I'm afraid of the little Sebastian. So I don't know what that would be.
Charisma saving throw.
Is it wisdom?
Charisma saving throw, maybe.
Charisma? Oh, she's
It's a
bad.
charisma saving throw, yes. Oh!
So
Oh, you're
bad.
so scared.
Oh my god.
Chella flinches visibly.
And it keeps going and grazing at the grass.
So we're going to where now?
Sounds
Where
like
are we heading?
we decided to go to House Algeron.
And where on a map would that be?
Well, let
we'll-
me draw it for you.
We'll get to the lake, and we'll continue with the lake to our left, in the forest to our right.
Wonderful. So we can walk these Sebastians to the.
First, we gotta find a place to stable our horses, yeah.
Well, we can go to the lake, surely.
There, like I said, see that green dot right there? There is, in fact, yes, there is a dock.
I really don't know why
Okay.
we're so worried about the horses.
If we can get
These
the
horses are on loan, Cella.
Don't know
I'll-
why I
I
would
put down a big deposit. Father would kill me if they didn't come back safe. Or
I'm
at
at a-
least
I'm
we're
at a,
returned into the next U Sebastian station.
go. Sebastian Station.
I'll try to do my best with my ranger skills to lead them through the forest without them breaking their leg.
All right.
Aw.
That's very kind of you.
Wait,
Yeah,
did Cella
very-
roll another charisma saving throw or something? Like, what
I
happened
didn't
there?
mean to. I think it's
Okay.
because I'm having trouble connecting right now, and it may have sent through another.
Well, It's a shame you didn't get that.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, Ephelien will roll survival.
Oh no.
When I woke
Am I
up
gonna crit
and I was
fail?
awake before everyone else, I made an investigation roll,
Yeah.
just to see if we had any visitors overnight. So we can resolve that after all of this.
Yeah. So Ephelien, you skillfully and quickly are able to guide the horses through the forest as you go.
Yeah, Effie.
I was
Way to
afraid I was
go.
gonna get a crit fail.
Oh, that would have been. Oh, then the one that hits the cello would probably gotten a broken leg or something.
Yep.
Oh.
So Gerbo, you wanted to make an investigation roll.
Yes, I made an investigation roll of 14.
Okay, so you're kind of looking around the campsite, just trying to look for anything that's out of place,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't see anything that would indicate that there was a nighttime visitor.
Okay, and I just realized that my passive investigation is actually 19.
Oh.
Dang.
Well, the answer would still be the same.
Okay, cool.
I don't sleep, so I'll let you know if something comes.
Cool. I think as we go along, I'm gonna, I guess, do perception to see if I see any signs of like Druid language, Druid speak. Because
Yeah.
some Druids will leave like signs or marks in an area.
Yeah.
All right, my
Yeah.
D&D Beyond page is loading.
Yeah.
There we go. Nope. Perfect. What page is this on? There we go. Okay. Oh,
Oh.
man. Dang! Crit!
Wow.
Ow.
You
It's all
thought
good.
you might have saw some like weird mushrooms that may have been arranged in a weird pattern, but you're not sure, so you just keep going.
Okay. That's fair.
So I'm gonna say you guys get to like this is like maybe not even I'm maybe half a day's worth of travel to get here.
Okay.
So
Do we find the dock?
there is a very large dock that's right there on the lakefront. As of course, as you get closer to the lake, the rainfall continues to increase in intensity. There are just large droplets that are falling everywhere. The water or the land around the lake is clearly very muddy.
Hmm.
There are some lower parts of the ground that are filled with water, so you have everyone would think it's been raining here for a while already.
Anybody need me to cast water breathing before we get onto the surface?
We're going underwater now?
Well, not. Never mind. It was sass. That was just sass. Leave it.
Fair enough.
The lake must be pretty impressive, right? This is like
Yeah.
one of the Great Lakes or something.
That's massive.
It's a massive lake. As you guys come up to it, it's hard to kind of see, like you can't really see across it right now because there's so much kind of fog and moisture in the air as it's raining and coming down. There's no one outside of the dock, but there do seem to be several boats that are kind of parked in the dockyard. There's one guy that's sitting underneath he's outside the door, but he is underneath the build the building rooftop, I guess, just smoking a pipe.
Gerbo, you're up.
Yep, you're the local.
I walk up to him, and I would like to roll persuasion.
Nice.
Jeez.
Oh, what do you say?
I
What do
say,
you say?
Good morning, young sir.
The guy
Um,
stops smoking his pipe and just looks at you, and you can tell that just like now that you're looking closer at him, he is wearing a hood, but it looks as if it is an elf. He says, "Well, I wouldn't exactly call myself young, but sure, I guess."
We have traveled from far away, and are looking to house our little Sebastians. We only have 4, and it looks like you may have space for us.
Ah, well. Takes a puff of his pipe. Says, well, I'm not really the one to talk to. You'd have to go inside to talk to the dock owner for that. But,
Oh, well, what do you do around here then?
I'm one of the fishermen.
Is that right?
Yeah?
Well, is it true that there are some interesting creatures coming out of that lake these days?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Very scary ones, too.
You know, I've heard the rumors of fish folk. Have you seen one of those?
You know, one of my friends claimed to have had some intimate relations with one of them, but I don't know about that. You know, tall tales and all.
Yes, yes, I believe the tale was called Old Greg, I think was the name of it.
Yes, of course. Who could forget?
Who could forget? It's a classic in elementary schools. I tell you, in our primary school, that was always a good one.
No, but I will tell you, there's some big creature that comes out. Scared a lot of the fishermen off as of late. I don't know what it is. It's not one of the fabled merfolk, that's for sure. It's far too big for that. Some ships have been taken down by it.
Wow.
I walk super fast up behind Gerbo.
We
Hello, young miss.
What does it look like?
There hasn't been a great look at it, but it's got very bluish, pale skin. It's big enough to sink one of our boats here.
Is it like a fish, or is it humanoid?
Both? I haven't seen it for myself. I can't say. You'd have to talk inside, maybe.
Does it have tentacles?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
How about you take us inside? What was the dock owner's name?
Just a moment.
Okay.
That's Ovulin.
Oh, Ovulin. Okay. Well, you know, I think that this dock has been mentioned at House Alderin before.
You come from House Alderin, huh?
Yes, it's been a journey, but yes, I do come from there. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll have Sir Braundir here. He can take the little Shetlands and put them in the in your shed, and then we will we'll just make sure that that's okay.
He's gonna extend a hand to you and say, "Name's Harik, by the way."
And my name is Gerbo.
Master Gerbo, then. All right. And your name? He's gonna look at Ephelien.
My name's Ephelien.
All right.
Tell me more about your friend that had the intimate relations with the merfolk.
I mean,
Really, Brad?
Need to know about the intimates.
Need
Need
to-
the intimates.
Is he
Look,
around here?
what did Ephelien? What did you say?
Is he around
50
here?
shades of white.
Well, I mean, he's not here right now. I mean, I mean, he's told me this story like 2 or 3 times already, and I'm sure I'm gonna hear it more times. But apparently, he was out, late at night.
I'm taking notes.
That's amazing.
X-Files.
He was out at night, he must have. I think either he said he drank too much and passed out, or maybe he was just out too late, lost track of time. But yeah, he was trolling back in, and he heard this beautiful singing sound. And he pulled up to it, and sure enough, there's one of the merfolk. Apparently beautiful. I can't say. I've never seen one before, but evidently he must have said something or done something that charmed the thing, and, well, the rest is pretty self-explanatory, I think.
Is there more?
What, more tales, or?
More
More
details?
tails. Badooch.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Illustration.
Could you diagram that for me real quick?
I am curious how that works.
How this works?
Is it a bottom or top half? Like, which part of it is a fish?
Yeah.
Which one's
Don't Google it. We're
And
not
then
gonna ask this question.
I cut in and I said, "Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. I don't know what this is all about, but maybe you can take us inside and we can talk to the dock leader. Maybe he knows how the anatomy of it works."
Look, all I can tell you is, I think the top half's humanoid. Can't speak much for the rest of it, but anyway, I think there's something to do with pearls. I can't remember exactly what he was saying.
Okay.
I just kind of, he's the one to talk about tall tales, Oh, God.
Did I click on that or not?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Do it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
It's pretty
Can I
good.
make some kind of a knowledge check?
Yeah,
Mostly about the bigger monster.
sure.
So what would it be?
Maybe nature?
And Drew, what did you say the dock
Matt.
leader's name was?
Let me find the name generator. Vulin.
Vulin.
So, Ephelien, you're familiar with big sea creatures, but you're not really familiar, even with like a lake this large, you're not familiar with like a freshwater creature that's that big, right?
My favorite
Like-
enemy is aberration.
Yes. You have in the past helped deal with larger sea aberrations. But those are usually not like the only context you've ever dealt with them has been like in the ocean, in oceans.
Hmm.
So it's a little strange.
I feel like probably Fae and beasts and aberrations would be what my character knows more about. Probably
Right.
less about monstrosities or undead or
Well-
demons.
It's a humanoid, fish-like creature.
So I may not know as much.
You don't
With a
know
12
if
at
that's
least.
necessarily an aberration that you've encountered before, or a beast necessarily.
So I'd need a higher roll.
Yeah, you'd need a high roll.
That makes sense.
Right. So, can I call him?
Harik, you want to take us inside?
Sure, of course. His voice has changed a few times now.
It's all good.
It's okay.
So he takes you in, and it's a happening little bar. several elves and humans even are kind of gathered around tables in the bar itself. Some of them are drinking. Others are just kind of calmly just talking and passing tales to past each other. And Harik takes you to the barkeep. Says, "Hey, Vulin. I think these folks may want a place to park their... Are those ponies?
Yep. Yep.
Ponies.
I'm gonna degrade them by calling them ponies.
They're
Gentlemans.
Dwarven
They're
Sebastian.
Oh, they're Sebastians. My bad.
But Braundir would... It's a big of
A pony is a much less regal creature than a Sebastian.
Sebastians, I guess. Whatever. And a slightly older dwarf that's got kind of graying hair and a few wrinkles on his face. So very old for elf standards. To even show any signs of aging at all. He says, "What can I do you for?" Name's Vulin. Or not, yeah, Vulin.
And I say, well, Vulin, your friend here, I don't know if he works for you, but Harik said that we were able to store our Sebastians in here for a little while, and while we visit House Aldrin, and potentially be back in a few days, and maybe things will be a little bit better around here.
Maybe a week, should we say?
Could be a week. That sounds about right.
A week, huh? Store some ponies.
Yep. And Harik said it would be no problem.
These dwarven ponies seem like they eat anything, so they shouldn't be hard to feed.
All right. Well, yeah, I think we could find some space for them. Probably won't take up too much space. So how to say? Oh, let me think here. "7 days.
It's 1 to 2 silver for a poor human to live. I don't know if that helps, but 1 to 2 silver per day for a poor human
Right.
to
I
survive.
feel like it would be at least a couple of gold pieces just to
Mhm.
house horses along with the carriage.
Okay. Is that Vulin's final? Is that his offer?
Let's say 5 gold pieces.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, do you know how much these Sebastians cost?
Can't say I do. I haven't run into very many ponies like that.
Braundir, how much did you pay for us to take these Sebastians here?
Oh Lord. Well, I gave 30 gold pieces, and the rest of the note went to my mother. So
I'm going to whisper to
I guess-
Gerbo, if he thinks we're rich, he's going to charge us more money.
Just sell them out. Are you just gonna sell them out like that?
And I'll say, well, I personally do not have any gold to pay you, but what I can offer is that if we come back after 7 days, you can keep one of the Sebastians.
No, that is not part of the deal.
No, Braundir.
5 gold pieces sounds more than reasonable, and I'm gonna put them on the table because I have no idea where Gerbo's going with this. There's a deposit on these. I don't own these things. I've got to return them back to the U Sebastian station.
Vulin, is five gold pieces your final offer?
That's fine by me.
Okay, 5 gold pieces and a round of drinks, and it's a deal.
A round of drinks for your whole crew?
Yep. You give us a round of drinks, we'll give you 5 gold pieces, and you can put the Sebastians in your shed for 7 days.
Well,
I wasn't gonna put them in my shed. I'm not cruel. All right. Sure. I'll give you some ale, I guess.
I hope Harek's going to take care of them. At least someone like him will.
I mean, Harek doesn't work for me. He's just one of my regulars.
Well, it sounds like Harek needs a job then. Maybe you should pay Harek with the gold pieces that we're giving you. Sounds like that's dutiful employment to me.
Let me get you around. He goes back further down the bar and kind of starts prepping your drinks.
And I kind of say to everybody, like to the group, I'm kind of like looking around, and I comment on a few different things, but mostly I just say to everybody like, I kind of say it like really loud. Do you think we're going to be able to see the night stars this evening? And I make a perception roll.
Ooh.
nice.
So, as you say that in a loud way, and everyone looks confused when you say that. Some of them even start laughing because it's just the downpour outside indicates probably not. But Harek says to you, well, might be clear enough for us to see the moon.
And I got my, I kind of just have, I eventually, I guess I'm going to get my beer, and I'll just kind of like, toast him like in the air and just say, maybe so, and take a drink out of it.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Intriguing.
I'll give my drink to Harik and say, give me more details.
So good.
I don't know if I'm really comfortable giving
More details.
Oh,
That's awesome.
like, all I know, like, he had some pearls. He gave her some pearls. She seemed to really like that, like, a lot. They were in the water at some point. Like, I don't know what else you want from me.
I'm just taking notes.
Well, Hark, were these black pearls? Were they regular pearls? Were they like a string? Like, we need to know, because if we encounter some creatures out there, if that's something that can distract them, then I want to make sure that that's something that we have.
I mean, I've heard of other merfolk in the past, taking, pearls, other trinkets like that. But I mean, I remember, he as he was, trawling around for fish, he ended up finding some big clams and ended up finding a good sized pearl out of it. So
Okay.
can't say I've seen the pearls lately, but look,
I'll
I'm
go to the
starting to get a little
bartender.
weirded out by your friend here, who's asking me some more details.
I'm gonna go over to
Yeah.
the bartender and ask him if he's heard the same story.
Oh, you talking about Herrick's friend?
Yeah, have you heard the story?
Yeah, I have.
Can you give me any
Everyone
more details about it?
This is hilarious.
Oh man, well,
I think Drew just made his offhanded comment.
Yeah, and now
I'm paying
and now
for it.
he is
Right
in.
now,
Yeah,
Brett's holding.
yeah. Now
You're
he's.
holding me to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Thank
And
you, Brett.
and if you have any details on this monster that it's been eating boats.
So the second Ephelien says that, the room goes quiet. And Vulin looks at you far more seriously and says, "Aye, we got a few more details on that. A few of my regulars have lost their ships. Thankfully, no one's died yet, but I can't say that's the case anywhere else. What do you want to know?"
I turn the page from the sexy fish person page to the boat eating monster page and start taking notes.
Okay. Oh, all right.
And I'll just
Well.
try to get any details that could clue me off into if it has anything to do with corruption, basically.
Well, it's very humanoid looking. Few have gotten to see its face, but those that have, it has these black and green eyes.
Yep.
The skin's blue. Seem to be very humanoid, more humanoid than the merfolks. That's very strange. It just seems to rise out of the depths, like it's swim. Like it. I don't know if it's got fins to it, but I know it's got gills. But the thing is, I mean, I've never encountered any of the giants, but I think it might be rivaling that size, maybe bigger.
When was it first seen?
Seen a couple months ago.
And never before, not in stories or myths, came from nowhere.
It seemed to. I mean, there have been weird things that have come out of the lake and come back. You know, merfolk are one. There's been some bigger sea creatures that we've spotted every so often, but nothing quite like that. Often comes out at night.
Is there anyone around here that would pay us money if we killed it?
That's when everyone else is kind of chimes in and say, yeah. And he says, well, I'd say my regulars would.
Does it seem to come up from any certain part of the lake, or can it come up anywhere at all?
You know, we've got a fairly large, like some of our regulars have got a fairly large range. Some of them get out to the middle of the lake. Most of the attacks seem to occur more in the eastern region, so I'm gonna kind of like here. I don't know if you see that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And now that you mention it, I mean, that's the biggest concern we got, but there have been some other weird stuff we've seen.
Like what?
Most of it occurring at night. Oh, there'd be some weird folks that seem to just walk right into the lake.
And where do they walk into the lake?
Well, from what I've heard from others, they seem to be going, well, just all around, it seems. They just walk right out and then they're just gone. Sometimes it's often, you know, dawn or dusk.
And do they come back?
I haven't seen them.
Mm.
No, my
The weather here's been getting worse and worse lately. At that point, there's a booming crack of thunder as the storm picks up in intensity.
Gerbo like sneaks away from
Okay.
the group.
All right. So people have made some rolls. So, Cella, you made a perception roll.
Yeah, I was looking around to see if there's anybody who, and I doubt it, but who looked like they would be a druid, if there were any symbols anywhere in the tavern, if there was any sign that I could, like, and I think it's probably slim chances because most of the druids are going to be avoiding this place, but.
There's actually a quieter guy who's in the back by himself.
Mm-hmm.
As you're looking around, you do see that he seems to have a necklace, and the necklace is a druidic symbol that you know, typically associated with the Circle of Stars.
Hmm. Okay. Nice. I think Cella's gonna get up and go over to him.
So, Gerbo, you made a stealth roll.
I made a stealth roll. Ignore the Constitution save because that was a misclick.
Okay.
I made a stealth roll just to kind of like back away from the group, like the conversation about the folk and stuff.
Yeah.
And making eye contact with Harik.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, go and find like just like another like room or just like another kind of like side area that's kind of like maybe like behind like a corner or something.
Yeah, sure. So you kind of go out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to resolve this one at a time. So,
Yep.
Cella, you're going to approach this man at the corner table.
Yeah, I think as she sits down, she says, in the druid language, she says, "Hello, brother."
He kind of looks at you with wide eyes, and it's a human, actually. Not that common around here. He says, speaks back to you in Druid and says, "What are you doing here?"
Finding myself a long way from home. These are strange times.
Kind of holds the necklace to himself closer and says, "What circle?"
Circle of Spores. My aunt
Oh.
is Valkyra, the
Oh.
Order of Dusk.
You are far. What brings you here?
Been hearing strange things. Strange stories spreading amongst the circles. How long have you been here?
Well, I could say that I've been here for a few years now, but can't say I've been an active member of the circle for some time.
And you're not the only circle here.
No.
There's a Circle of Dreams, and as I understand, those who serve the water.
Aye. Quiet for some time. They haven't reached out to any of us about anything.
How long ago did you stop hearing from them?
Oh, I'd say it's been... Well, it's probably been maybe more than 6 months, possibly a year.
See.
Now, keep in mind, now you saw this, I'm sure, but I haven't been really very active here of late. Used to be part of the Rose Meadow commune. Decided to make a change for myself, you know.
I see. Have the stars told you anything important lately?
Well, I think you'd be referring to dreams. Did I say Circle of Stars or Dreams?
Stars, I thought.
Well, you said the Rose Metal Commune,
Right.
which is sort of like dreams.
Oh, you said dreams. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thought you
Okay.
said stars.
Right. Well, we have recorded evidence to indicate if I'm contradicting myself or not.
I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm tired.
Well, you meant dreams, though, right?
What?
You meant dreams, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I meant dreams. He says, well, a few, special dreams I've taken. Every now and then, you can't help but want to go on a little dream trip for a little while. It can be quite fun. But lately they've been getting kind of dicey. Seeing all kinds of weird things, dark things. Seems to be this. I mean, normally, when you go on a trip, it's a lot of colorful, forest and different odd sights, that your mind can kind of intermingle with the reality.
Mm.
There's this sort of encroaching darkness to it. It's hard to describe.
Anything to do with the monsters coming out of the lake?
Well, I can't say I've ever been the best at interpreting dreams, but there was one where seemed to be some sort of giant leviathan that just jumped out of the lake, rose out of the lake, and destroyed the forest in my dreams. Just ransacked everything. It was impossibly huge. With dreams, it's hard to interpret them.
Well, least of all for you, but it's alarming. And what of all these people disappearing into the lake? I take it that's something to do with the water temple.
It's has to be. Like I said, they seem to appear, at dawn or dusk. They walk into the lake and you don't hear a word out of them and they just go in. I'd assume there's some kind of magic with them.
But you don't know.
I don't know. Everyone who's tried to talk to them, they just ignored.
I have one other question for you, brother.
Yeah.
There's talk of a strange visitor who wields powers of life and death, visiting the various druid circles. Now, I can tell you that if this person exists, he is not from the Order of Dusk.
Oh.
And anyone who would wield that kind of power is, well, a threat.
His face gets pale when you mention that. His eyes go wide. He says, oh, you're talking about him, aren't you?
You've seen him.
Well, only from a distance.
Here.
He came to the commune. It's just so cold. There's this skull, the burning skull with the hood, purple fire. He seemed to be looking for something. He was asking us questions. He never asked me anything directly, but he just seemed to touch someone. He just dropped dead.
How long ago was this?
Oh, it was probably... well, probably about... not much longer than when I decided to leave. Changed my life, It's been a few years. But he was looking around.
And was there another person with him? A dark witch of sorts?
It seemed to be just him, as far as I remember.
I see.
Their body was ice cold when we got to it. Never seen anything like it.
It's terrible. This is not the way that death should happen.
There's just nothing we could do about it. It's just She's gone.
What is your name?
Give me a second. Oh God.
Nice to meet you, oh God.
Oh God.
God.
O G O D.
Oh god.
Oh God.
Oh god.
Name's Aldous.
Aldous.
Aldous, yeah.
Aldous. Aldous. I know you're interested in changing your life and escaping what horrible things you must have seen. But I think you are somebody who could help us try to make sure that these sort of things don't happen to the rest of this world.
I don't know if I got the courage for it, ma'am.
Well, think about it. We're going to be in the area for some time, and you will find a way to find me if you think that you can help.
I will. I will.
What you told me is already a help. I thank you.
Aye. Aye. He's just kind of lost in thought.
Yeah, Cella's gonna slink away.
Yeah. All right. Now we go to Gerbo.
Where's Braundir at this moment?
Where is Braundir at this moment?
I guess I paid the guy and I escorted out
The ponies. The
Sebastians
Sebastians.
to their spot,
Okay.
and I'm talking to the stable keep, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to wait for Harik to come over by me.
It's like a few minutes,
Right.
but eventually Harik emerges from the main room.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, I say, well, I assumed someone in there would be a guild member, but didn't think it might be you.
Funny coincidence that.
Yes. Well, the guild these days, I can only imagine that they're alive and well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's fewer of us these days, but yeah.
Well, I come here, mostly to, revisit Alderaan again, but also I obviously have a group with me, and I think a few of us could be of assistance to the guild.
All right.
Have you heard what happened in Northwich?
Yeah, that was. People are still trying to figure out what caused that.
Well, and then I just kind of like,
Oh, really?
yes, Gerbo, small but mighty.
Wait,
Small-
you're Garbo?
I am, yes.
Huh. Never thought I'd see you around. All right.
Well, and the dwarf that was accompanying us, that is his name is Braundir, and
Wait, you talking about Blight Chaser?
exactly, I can see his reputation precedes him.
Well, being a member of the guild, news travels fast.
Well, I can only assume that's why we came here. It seems like, according to the talks, there's some creatures here that's causing trouble for basic trade, and I feel like our specific services could be of use.
Fishermen are afraid to even go out in the water anymore.
Well, I'm sure there's at least one of them that's dumb enough for us to charter a boat out with.
Oh, you could probably pay some of them to get you out there. That's probably true.
Yeah, but could we pay him to stay?
Oh, that'd be another question entirely.
Right. And would the accommodations be up to my standard? That's ultimately the question, but
He's
we
just gonna
can
open
figure
up his
that out.
arms and just gesture it around and say, well, this isn't the most high class of ports or docks or anything.
Of course not, but the
You'd have
the-
far better luck at the ports and docks around Alderaan. If you want
Yes,
your
that's true.
level of accommodations.
Yes, I could get the accommodations there, but maybe not the skill or the knowledge of where these encounters have happened. So maybe I'll talk with my crew and we'll decide if we come back, what to do.
Of course, of course.
And I feel like you need to meet this Braundir. I think he went outside and to put the Sebastians away. So let's pay him a visit. I feel like specifically he could help, and Ephelien and Cella are our other two. Their skills are very, I would say, could be unique for the guild, and so um,
I'm just cutting away to Ephelien, drawing very poor, imagining this,
it's amazing.
just intimate relations with
Yeah,
a person.
need to know.
Yep. It's important information.
Yeah.
Important information.
So we, I guess I walk outside and I put my umbrella up, and
Okay.
I've got it, and I'm like walking outside, and
Harkin's kind of looking over, and he kind of rolls his eyes as you pop up this umbrella, and you just put it on his hood as he
Right.
goes inside.
What time of day is it?
It's in the morning, I would say. Well, actually, it's been a few hours of travel, so probably a little early, 11 to 12.
and we approach the storage area where the Sebastians are.
Yeah.
And I yell, "Oh, Black Chaser!"
Gerbo, I didn't think I'd see you outside. The elements.
Well, I was prepared. Like, what are you doing out here?
Well, just making sure everything's put away properly. Who's your friend here?
Well, Hark, we met him outside, and he took us in, and turns out we have a connection.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Hark. Braundir.
A pleasure.
Braundir, it seems like your reputation here precedes you.
Oh, and how so?
Oh, we've heard of you through the grapevine. We've got members in Polan, and, well, it's hard not to hear about Blight Chaser.
Well, good things, I hope.
Ah, right. Though there's a lot of craziness around the Redwoods and stuff that happened in Durin, hasn't all been settled yet. I haven't gotten a lot of real, I guess, trustworthy reports as of yet. A lot of craziness.
You can't get any more trustworthy than hearing it from my own lips. That all is well, that ends well.
Ah. Did you tackle a Lich Lord?
I did.
I knew it. I knew that part was true.
Gets noticeably uncomfortable with that. I did in a moment of rage, and I'm just glad that it all worked out in the end.
Ah, yeah, I'd say so, considering what you're up against. Sure.
And I say I rolled deception and I rolled it poorly.
Yeah.
I say, and I was there. I was there. It happened. I was there. I was a part of it as well. I
Braundir,
assisted.
knowing Gerbo, puts his hand on Gerbo's back and says, Gerbo was indeed there and very helpful, weren't you, Gerbo?
And I kind of like shake off my umbrella in like his general direction.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so, Herrick, I've heard strange things about these parts, and we're looking for the water elemental temple. Do you know anything about that?
Well, it's something that, well, I think the Druids would be able to tell you a little more. Most of the cities don't really, I mean, other than fishing it, they don't really bother much with the lake. In fact, these days they've been, well, House Aldrin and House, oh, hold on.
Is it Zerma? Zumra?
Not Zumra. House Aldrin and House Glinra. They've been discouraging fishermen from going there. I've seen some of their wizards poking around every now and then. I think they're trying to investigate. They're a little out of their depth, if you know what I mean.
Meaning they know nothing about the water themselves?
Well, it's elemental druidic magic, so I'd say it's probably a little unfamiliar for them.
Hark, my apologies. Sir, Mr. Braundir here, he is not very familiar with this, how things are different between the druids and the wizards and the arcanas. It's okay, though.
By the way, we do not know an old wizard.
Yes, we know no old
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? There's a lot of old wizards around here.
Yep, we don't know any
Not
of them.
associated with any wizard kings. And
And-
I'm like looking at Gerbo to make sure I'm saying that right.
And then when he says that, like, I kind of like look at him and I look at Tarek and I'm just like, I kind of have my eyes open like, that is the truth.
I've never been more suspicious of someone saying that what they just said was the truth. But if you're talking about any connections with House Zumra, I believe you.
Yep, House Alderin all the way.
Aye, Aldrin's not bad.
Zumra's scary folks there.
Well, I'm just glad, High King, I'm just glad the King Zumra's dead, to be honest.
Me too. Somebody asked earlier if anyone's tried to resurrect the king.
Oh, I hope not. I haven't heard anything.
Well, I hope not either, but I can only imagine that would be something that House Zumra would try to do.
Well, I mean, all I know is that one of the members of House Zumra's trying to go around and try to be generally helpful, but no one trusts them. So,
Well,
whatever attempts they have at trying to redeem the Zumra name's not exactly working out for them.
And what exactly? Sorry, I'm new here. What exactly did Zumra do?
Oh, what did he not do would be a better question. Well, I could tell you about Maiden's Field. Just as an example.
Maiden's Field. What happened there?
Well, so way back when, there used to be a group of female elves that kind of dedicated themselves to defending the forest, and they were known as the Maidens of the Woods.
Okay.
They really helped a lot of people and keep the peace, but well, Samra ended up doing some less than righteous things, and the maidens took a great well, they disagreed with it strongly, and as a result, well, the massacre at Maiden's Field happened.
Awful.
So
Did anybody give this king any repercussions or reprimand?
well, eventually his council of mages overthrew him, but that wasn't for a long time.
And so the house continues to have this bad name.
Correct.
Well, I'm sure Gerbo will make sure that we steer clear of this place.
I wouldn't recommend going to Maiden's Field either, if I were you.
Where is that?
It's to the north of the lake.
Well, I don't think we'll have to cross it. We're staying strictly on the eastern side, right, Gerbo?
Ooh, well, I hope. I mean, I'm not one that is fine with attacking ghosts or being attacked by ghosts, so I'm going to try to avoid that.
Oh, what about that strong effort you made against the Lich Lord?
Well, if we're talking about the Lich Lord, we all know that Gerbo did a number on him.
That's what I hear. So, I say, what was this guy's name again? Bula?
Hark.
Oh, Hark.
Arik.
Hark, is there any way that we can help you while we're here?
Well, it's not really much. I mean, it would be good if you guys could get to the bottom of what's happening in the lake.
We intend to.
We do intend to get to the bottom of the lake. That is true.
Oh, quite literally, huh?
Well, I told you that Cella has interesting abilities.
Okay. I can't say many wizards or druids have really gone to the bottom, unless, you know, you were with the water temple. All I could say is, be careful.
Well, we're hoping to be.
But, no, we'll keep in touch, won't we, Gerbo?
Yes, I think our guild has a way of staying in touch. Let's head inside and see if Ephelien has learned any more about this creature that we need to be warned of.
Aye. Alright.
See.
Boom.
So we're back in the dock house. Tavern, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have good crab legs?
It's a good question.
Oh man.
Wait, no. What about hush puppies? What about hush puppies?
Little hush puppies.
Oh man.
Some hush puppies.
Dude, I could totally eat
I
some
could-
hush puppies right now.
Put away some hush puppies.
I don't know. I don't know if elves would make good hush puppies or not.
I feel like it's not healthy enough.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know if the concept of frying food would occur to them.
yeah.
Maybe some humans would.
Some dwarves definitely would.
Mhm.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
So what's Ephelien doing, anyway?
Just
At this
trying to get
point.
more information about those monsters. That's it.
All right. I can imagine Vulin just kind of. Well, there's really not much more that could be said about the thing, about the giant and the water or whatever. And I can't really tell you much more about the intimate relations with the merfolk. You've asked me a lot about that for some reason.
Anything you can tell me about the sexual organs of this creature could narrow it down a lot. If it's still capable of procreation, it
So good.
makes a big difference.
I think you'd have to talk to Hark's friend.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
I am sure you will. Well, his name is Vezrin. He's not in today. He was feeling a bit down. Ever since his encounter with the Mer lady, he's been, well, bit less, kind of sickly, I guess.
Seemed pretty drained.
Yeah, seemed kind of tired a lot.
Well, you know, if a creature's unable to procreate, it could be a sign that it's a manifestation of some kind of corruption. That's why it's so important to get all the details.
I guess so.
I think Cella sidles up to Ephelien at this point and slides a drink in front of her.
Yeah. That might make it worse.
Don't let me intrude.
I'll say to her, I feel like they're more scared of this smaller monster than they are the bigger one.
Perhaps it's all a matter of what you spend your time focusing on.
It's true. They seem much more uncomfortable about the first story than the second one.
What do you think, Ephelien? Do you have enough information? Do you think it would be safe for us to try to go into the water and take a look? Take a look around, swim around a little bit.
No, I don't think it will be safe, but I think we're going to have to do it anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been suspecting as well. Anyway, I found another druid from one of the local circles. It sounds like he had a close brush with that same purple flame skull character that we saw in Gearhead's memories.
If somebody is coordinating multiple incursion sites, that's a very bad sign.
That seems to be the case. They've come through here not that long ago, and around the same time that all these bad things started happening.
It just means these temples are really important, or what they're doing in them at least.
Have you sensed another portal close by?
I'll use the tech portal and see if there's one within a mile.
So now it's now the question that I have been thinking to myself all along is, how deep is this lake? That actually becomes important.
Well,
Really, really deep.
a square mile is going to be a very small portion of this lake.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So it would have to be like under the dock or something. Or in the woods within a mile of the dock.
It's directly dead under the dock, a mile away.
Who would have thought? Right here the whole time. No wonder you guys are having some issues.
You don't detect a gate or a portal.
Okay. No portal within a mile.
Well, I guess it's a start. So are we going to sleep in this fish house tonight?
I hope so.
Pelora says that Gerbo is not allowed to sleep in something so like gross like this.
You can have the carriage then, Gerbo. It's still outside.
Wow.
That's amazing. We should probably conclude this
Soon.
session.
I kind of figured it was going to wrap up pretty soon.
Hmm.
It's been
But-
good. We are in the right place. Things are happening around us.
Hmm.
That's right. I'm surprised you
Had
guys
fun
avoided.
encounter.
What?
We had fun encounters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we-
surprised you guys invaded all the combat encounters that I had planned.
Well, there was a
That's
wrestling
oh.
match.
Do what? There was a wrestling match. That's
It was
true.
a
It
wrestling match.
happened.
It was worth it. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And a lot of stealing happened.
And I got an
A lot of-
inspiration point.
Yeah, sweet,
right.
sweet inspiration.
So as a fun fact, for that particular encounter, if there had been clerics in the group, they would have also gotten an inspiration.
Ah, nice. Nice.
I basically there was like a D100 table of non-combat encounters that I had taken some of them from, and that was one of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We'll guard it wisely.
Yeah, seriously, let's say use it.
It's been a long time since Drew doled out inspiration.
I know. I should have been doling it out sooner. In fact, I honestly probably should give Ephelien a point of inspiration for her dress down of Beastbane, actually.
Yeah, that was
That was pretty
awesome.
amazing.
I feel like that's appropriate at this point.
That was good role playing.
I mean, all of you have done a great job. Like, all of you. It's a nice change of pace compared to the Badlands campaign.
Which is fighting.
Lots of that. Though to be fair, in this last session, they fought on the rooftops of a abandoned city. They fought ninjas essentially.
What?
that's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Things are happening in the Badlands. I'm glad we're not up there. But someday we're going to need these two campaigns to converge again so that we can take down the big boss with some people who actually have combat
That'd be
experience.
freaking wild. That would be so unruly.
God, if I were, God, that'd be a master plan of epic proportions if I were able to pull that off.
Running a table with 8 PCs. No thanks.
We'll just go to level 15, and then you can create a combined 15 to 20 epic campaign.
Oh shit. That's when shit gets really real.
Rogue level 15.
That's like a million d6 sneak attack,
At least.
approximately.
I'm looking here, like what happens at Rogue level 15? I get something called Slippery Mind.
Slippery mind.
Yeah, look it up.
I haven't looked ahead very much to see
What happens with druids?
Yeah. It all depends on your circle, of course. And
Yeah.
then you get like timeless body beast spells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're high enough level in druid, you basically can't die.
Pretty legit.
So your aunt's gonna live a long time.
There we are. Fungal body at level 14. That
hey.
doesn't sound like a good look.
That's good. That's good. I know 10 spells. I'll know 10 spells at a level 15.
Dang.
It's a lot for me.
Yeah. I'll have to start pulling out the big guns at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never played it over level 15, like epic level.
We've never played anything like I think this is like level 8 is the highest we've played so far, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this tier or whatever.
This tier, like we're already playing the highest level characters we've played thus
Mhm.
far.
That's fun.
And I mean, it's only gonna go up, obviously.
That's so fun. Hello. What was the schedule? Were we planning 1 week out, or were we planning multiple weeks out?
Well, I think so far it sounds like Jet had a series of a few weeks. She
Yes.
was more available than most.
Yes, I am still available next Tuesday. It looks like we already have a session on the calendar, but then I'm on call on May 12th. So that's where it'll kind of break the cycle.
Okay. Well, we got a few weeks, basically.
Yeah, maybe next Tuesday night we can make a plan for the week of the 10th.
Yeah?
Yep.
I think so.
Um,
I mean, for Brett and I, this is the way we socialize for now.
No, I know. Yeah, me
Most people
too,
get less than
Us
that
too.
right now.
unfortunately.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
I mean,
it's not so bad.
Well,
but-
unfortunately, that it's like
but we would like also other socializing.
yeah,
so.
like I haven't seen a friend or a family member like face to face in like 6 or 7 weeks.
yeah.
Crazy.
I lucked out in that I did get to go home this last weekend.
That's nice.
Mainly because, well,
Yeah, 6 weeks.
most of my like Randolph County, like Pocahontas, like there has been almost no cases there. Even now, there's like 15 that are positive cases.
No, that's nice.
Nice.
That they
Now,
know
to be
of.
fair, that probably means it's just a lack of testing and not
Mhm.
actual infections. But
Mm.
my family has been pretty careful.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
I
been
wouldn't
basically
expect it to be,
isolated.
like, raging there, you know.
Yeah. Well, I do have a sneaking suspicion that if and when it does pick up in rural areas, it's going to be far more fatal. I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just don't have like the health.
yeah.
the
that's-
infrastructure's not there, and there are far more risk factors that
Mhm.
affect it. So
Yeah, it's taken off at Parkland. Like everything else in Texas has been kind of stable, but the hospital where I work, it has 67 patients as of today.
yeah,
21 are on ventilators.
they had a scare in the Randolph County nursing home.
Oh,
gee.
man.
One of their residents had tested positive, and they tested everyone else, but they were all negative.
Oh man.
And the person that was infected apparently was asymptomatic. So,
Yeah, it can happen quick.
right.
And for that reason, I think Gareth going to get to see his dad this weekend.
Yeah, my dad's flying back from Florida, and he's flying through Dallas, so I'll get to actually see him this weekend. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm going to stay away from my parents for a while longer. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
And
What a time. What a
but in the
time.
meantime, I'm thankful for you guys and thankful for D&D.
Yeah, it's been
Right.
fun. It's been a really fun.
Yeah.
Like we've had a blast. Everything, everything in Durin was awesome, and
Yeah.
I think it was I think it's really cool that like there's similarities, but like even like changing areas, like there are just like naturally things that like are going to be different, and that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I like
it's
how-
great.
I like how poorly Gerbo explained the king, the former king of the elves.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's like whatever we do, this is not a person we're affiliated with.
So funny.
And
I
they're
would
like,
have liked it better if you were affiliated with him
right,
in
yeah.
some way, and you're just like, we're not affiliated with him, no matter what,
Yeah.
no matter what happens, no matter anything else.
That's what I thought it was because of the way that Gerbo was
Right,
talking about it.
right.
Yeah.
If it comes up, this is not something we're doing.
That's what I was waiting for.
Right. Except he did it in the most suspicious way possible.
But it's been really fun, Drew. You've been doing a great job. Thank you again for all the time you put in.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it wouldn't be a campaign without you.
it's been awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's gonna be crazy. You guys getting to the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, it's gonna happen
And you can do it.
if I can do it.
Do I have to make like a saving throw or something?
You crit fail. You drowned.
Oh man, my character dies. Oh, that
No.
would be something.
You don't have to make any kind of saving throw. She just casts the spell and bam, you got water breathing. Though Braundir, you'd have to take your ring off.
Mm-hmm.
That would be funny if you didn't. You just
Yeah.
were just standing on top of the water, like, well,
Can't do much.
Bye, guys.
What? Okay, here's my question. And
yeah.
this is the thinker. What happens if Braundir goes under the water and then puts the ring on?
Well, he shoots up
Yeah.
like a
So it's one of two things. One, he shoots up through the water at maximum velocity, and he's just standing on top of the water wet. Two, he's standing on top of the water that is below his feet underwater.
Oh, he's created a new level.
Right.
Gotcha.
Those are the two options I see.
Does the bends exist in this world?
It would probably exist.
Yeah.
Unless water breathing like accommodates that. I would assume it could.
Oh yeah, because you're still doing like pretty good gas exchange. So hopefully you don't have a lot of nitrogen building up in your system.
Right, yeah. That
Unless
would,
I don't
unless
know
you're
how,
flying out of the water at like Mach speed.
I don't know
Because
how
of
orbs
burning of water.
metabolize nitrogen. We probably shouldn't like get into the physics of gas exchange in different humanoid races. I know.
I'm sure it's been done before.
Yeah, someone has blog posts about it, I'm sure.
Someone's got a blog post about it, and
Yeah.
it's
And if
absolutely
they don't, we're about to be famous, actually.
That's right. We have to explore the question of the bends in D&D races.
Right. Decompression. Does decompression illness exist in D&D?
I'll admit that would be a really badass way to kill an enemy if you're fighting a
Decompression
monster.
sickness?
It's like
Okay, probably
you're at the bottom of the lake and you just cast a spell that makes them float up into the water, like
They
float
just
up
have
in
a
the water,
giant air embolism to their brain and they die.
and they just die.
You probably shouldn't make me start being literal about medical ways for these characters to kick it.
Yeah, that was
Right. Well, thank goodness magic exists to just brush over all of that.
Yeah.
Worst thing ever is to give a water monster a ring of water walking.
Yes. Oh God, that might be. I swear to God, if that's a way you kill like a major enemy, you give them the ring and they're just holding it and they just fly up through the water.
A ring that like a bot, but like not a ring that just.
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
That's funny. Well, guys, I'm fading fast. I better go to bed. I gotta go to labor and delivery tomorrow.
Okay.
Me too.
You gotta go to labor and
too.
delivery. Go catch some babies.
Oh.
What's that?
I said y'all are awesome.
Oh,
Love you,
Bye bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Later.